your face again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please. Your advice will be very useful to our students. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sure, sir.
Thank you. Please.
Sir, is my screen visible, sir?
Hello. It's okay. Seeing.
Is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, your mute is, sir, your mic is muted, sir. Ravi, sir.
Niranjan, over 5 minutes, the students joined at 2 minutes, sir.
Only 60 students have joined.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, no problem.
We will wait for 2 or 3 minutes.
Niranjan,
5 minutes, students joined at 2 minutes, sir. 60 students have joined.
Niranjan,
We'll wait for 3 minutes.
Niranjan, hello, Niranjan. Slides change பண்ணி பாருங்க, change ஆகுதுன்னு பாத்துக்கலாம்.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Slides மட்டும் slides
Change ஆகுதுங்களா?
Ravi?
Sir, shall we start, sir?
Request the students to open a video.
Okay. The students, yesterday also we are giving instruction.
kindly switch on your video, because I will see the screen. That's only the empty screen is showing. It's not at a good manner. So all are requested to switch on your video. Yesterday also we give an instruction. Okay. Students, there's another instruction. Kindly switch on your video. It is a moral discipline to switch on your video during the presentation. Any of the students still not switch on your video? Students, kindly switch on your video first, then we come to the presentation. Sir, shall we start this session?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll start.
Respected correspondent madam, respected director sir, respected principal sir, respected head of the departments and senior faculties, colleagues and technical staffs, and my dear students, and also the special guest of the today's speaker, special guest of the today's session, Mr. Naranjan. I welcome all for this today's session. It is not a session, it is a connect of alumni with the current students. Yes, today all the guest speakers are our BA alumni that completed in graduation in Manavara Institute of Agriculture, and now they are pursuing studies in various institutes are completed. Okay, so today is a very, very close interactive session and with your senior friends, and clarify all your doubts in regarding preparation and assisting help for your career. Okay, so with this few introduction, I heartily welcome Mr. Niranjan, on behalf of our Vanavara Institute of Agriculture and also on behalf of our students and with your staff friends and our correspondent and director and principal, sir. Mr. Niranjan, he is the undergraduate student of Vanavara Institute of Agriculture from 2010 to 14. During his studies, he is inspired to preparing postgraduate studies through ICAR system, and after that he writing All India entrance examination and secured 21st rank. Kindly note, 21st rank in social sciences and admitted agriculture economics in Dharwad University, Karnataka. Then later he writing IRA examination, Indian Agriculture Research Institute examination. He secured national level second rank. So kindly students note, national level second rank in agriculture economics and admitted in Indian Agriculture Research Institute, is one of the very premium agriculture institute of India, and he currently pursuing PhD studies in Indian Agriculture Research Institute, New Delhi. So with that few introduction, I heartily welcome Mr. Niranjan to deliver this today's speaking, and also students utilize this great opportunity to prepare ICAR system, and also get the phone number, mail ID from him and prepare for this examination. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is a pleasure for me to come back to Vanavara Institute of Agriculture and share my experience with my fellow students, juniors. And thank you, Director sir and Correspondent ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to come back to Vanavara Institute of Agriculture and share my experience with students. So without wasting any further time, we'll get started. So this webinar is all about building a promising career in agriculture, and then I'm going to concentrate only about preparing and attempting for PG examinations that is conducted by ICAR. So before going into the details, let us first see what is ICAR, what is AIWA, what is JRF, what is SRF. ICAR is the Apex Institute in India to conduct agricultural research and education. So this is an autonomous body which directly comes under the purview of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, New Delhi. So every year ICAR conducts an exam called AIWA. This is a similar examination for agriculture. We could see AIEEE, that is agricultural all India entrance examination for engineering, and similar examination for agriculture is all India entrance examination for agriculture. This examination is conducted at various levels, that is for entering into undergraduate program, postgraduate program, and for PhD program. For all the three programs, we have exams conducted by ICAR, that is AIEEE. So what is JRF and what is SRF? As you prepare, as students from third year, fourth year students start preparing, you might be aware of this word, this abbreviation JRF and SRF. So JRF is nothing but Junior Research Fellow. SRF is nothing but Senior Research Fellow. So Junior Research Fellow is a postgraduate student, and that is who is going to do Masters. Senior Research Fellow is a PhD student, that is who is going to do a doctorate in philosophy. So all these exams, all these UG, PG and PhD exams are conducted by ICAR every year. So this PG exam, students who get qualified through PG entrance exam, they are called as JRF students, and those who clear PhD exam, they are called SRF students. So only three stages of admission. If you want to clear that exam and get admission into a university, there are only three steps. Only first is examination, then is direct counseling, and then admission. So what is AIWA? We all know that AIWA is all India entrance examination for agriculture. Now we will be, since you are UG graduates, which undergraduates, we will talk only about post graduation, that is masters. We have agricultural universities. AUs are nothing but agricultural universities. Every year, all the agricultural universities offer courses, degrees in various disciplines. So in that, 25% of the seats in master's degree program will be filled through this JRF examination. Suppose if TNAU has 100 seats in total, 25% of the seats, that is 25 seats, will be allotted through JRF examinations. Remaining 75 will be allotted via the Tamil Nadu entrance. This is in case of state agricultural universities and the other central agricultural universities. In case of deemed universities like Indian Agricultural Research Institute, IVRI, National Dairy Research Institute, and CIFE Mumbai, in these 4 universities, these are called deemed universities. In these 4 universities, all the 100% of the seats are filled only through AIWA examinations. So, if you want to get into these premier institutes like IARI, IVRI, CIFE, or NDRI, you have only way is through this AIWA examinations. So agriculture universities every year, they offer about 96 subjects, that is degrees in 96 subjects, which is classified under 20 major subject groups that we will be seeing in further slides. So how many seats are there in every year? That is in total, we have 2,354 seats. This includes dairy, this includes veterinary, this includes fisheries, everything, including agriculture. But only for agricultural discipline, we have 1,254 seats exclusively for agricultural students. So how many of these seats are JRF seats? Out of 2,354 seats, 600 seats are mostly 1/4 of the seats they are offering as JRF. Only for those JRF seats, you will get fellowship. So those students are called as junior research fellow students, and they will be receiving fellowship amount monthly for their research. So for agricultural discipline, we have 310 seats. So for further details, you can visit this website. So what we know up to now is there is a system called ICAR which conducts examination every year. That is for UG, PG, and PhD. In case of PG, in all the agricultural universities, central agricultural universities and state agricultural universities, we have 25% of the seats reserved for AIWA students. And in case of deemed universities, all the 100% seats are filled only through AIWA students. So they are offering 96 degrees in 96 subjects, which are classified under 20 major subject groups, which we'll be seeing. So we have around 1,250 seats in total, including all the subjects in agriculture. And we have 310 JRF seats, that is with fellowship seats. So these are the major subject groups. Plant biotechnology, in that we have 3 subgroups. If you want to choose any one of these, suppose if you want to study crop physiology as your major in master's degree, so for that you have to prepare all these 3 subjects. Plant biochemistry also you have to prepare. You have to prepare plant biochemistry, and you have to prepare crop physiology. All the 3 subjects you have to prepare, which comes under one major subject group. So you will be appearing for exam under this plant biotechnology group. So in plant biotechnology, you have to study all these 3 subjects. In while going for counseling, you can select any one of the subjects as your major for master's degree. So for example, in case of plant sciences, you have 5 subjects. So 5 degrees will be offered. Whichever is the subject of your wish, you can select while going for counseling. But you have to study all these 5 subjects in order to clear AIWA exam. So if you want to go for plant pathology, you have to study plant breeding and genetics. You have to study plant pathology, microbiology, seed, everything you have to study. And you can select while going for counseling, which is according to your ranks or according to your marks, according to your wish, according to universities. All those things will come during counseling. So during that time, you can select which degree you wish to pursue. Likewise, physical sciences. So I have listed few of these. Suppose agronomy. In case I'm from social science background, in this you can actually select agricultural economics or agricultural extension. So, but you have to study both agricultural economics and extension before appearing for examination. So you have to read both. If you go for horticulture, you have to read these 6 subjects. though there will be separate degree in masters. In case of PG entrance exam, you have to study all the 6 subjects. So these are various disciplines which comes only for agriculture purpose. Veterinary, dairy, fisheries, all those things are there, but I have not mentioned all those things. If you want, you can visit this website. Like students from agriculture can also write water science and technology, food science and technology, even agribusiness management also they can write. So if you want to see the entire syllabus, you can click this website. You can see this website. Okay.
And excuse me, Niranjan, sorry for this.
Sir.
கொஞ்சம் அப்படியே இந்த பிபிடி ஷேர் பண்ணிட்டு அப்படியே சைமல்டேனியஸா ஈஸியா இருக்கும். கடைசியா பண்ணிடுறீங்க.
சார் பிபிடி ஷேர் ஆயிட்டு தான் இருக்கு சார்.
இல்லைங்க ஸ்கிரீன்ல வரலங்க.
அப்படிங்க சார்.
முதல்ல வந்துச்சுங்க.
1 minute sir, 1 minute. So is it visible now, sir?
Now visible.
Okay.
Now.
Is it okay, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So these are the subjects. So plant biotechnology, plant sciences, physical sciences. In physical sciences, you can study social science and agricultural chemicals in your masters, or agricultural physics or agricultural chemistry. Whichever field you wish, you can select while doing masters. But you have to study all these 5 subjects if you want to pursue a degree in any of these 5 subjects. Examination will be conducted for physical sciences. So physical sciences consists of all these 5 subjects. You have to read all these 5 subjects to appear for the exam, and later during the counseling you can select any one of the subjects of your wish and you can pursue your masters. So these subjects, even statistical sciences are there. It consists of agricultural statistics, computer application, bioinformatics. So these if you are interested in statistical sciences, you can read all these 3 subjects and you can get into the institutes. So these are the disciplines. These are the major disciplines for agriculture alone. There are 20 major subject groups and 96 sub-subjects. So I have listed only the most important subjects for agriculture. If you want further information, you can click on this link and view the entire details. So next, why ICAR? Why IIWA? So there is you can study you can do your masters in TNAU or any other university, state agricultural universities. All the state agricultural universities will be conducting separate examination of their own every year. So, but what is the difference between this ICAR conducted exam and the examinations conducted by state agricultural universities? So if you prepare for ICAR AIWA exams, you will get better understanding about the subject, because you will be you have to read extensively. So if you are interested in doing suppose physical science or plant science, you will be reading a lot of subjects like plant breeding, plant genetic resource, plant pathology, microbiology. So many subjects you should be reading. Only then you can crack the exam. So your knowledge will be widening and you will get a bigger base. So it will be easy for you to write some other competitive examinations which is based on agriculture, because you will be having a wider base. For one exam, you will be reading at least 4 or 5 subjects, which will be of course interconnected. So if you prepare in such a way, you will be getting a better understanding about the subject. This is before going into a university. Once you get selected and go out of Tamil Nadu or any other institutes, any other state, you will get better exposure. For example, I would say if you get selected and if you are going to study your masters in Bangalore or Hyderabad or suppose Delhi, you will be having a lot of other institutions, lot of other scientists working in many research institutions. So you will get exposed to those people who are actually working on many advanced things. So apart from that, you will be on your own. So you will get a lot of time to get exposed to many different things which students within Tamil Nadu will not be getting. So that is a biggest advantage of selecting institutes outside of Tamil Nadu. And third most important thing is you will be getting fellowship. So this is a bigger plus when it comes to AIAA exams. So here, so we saw students will be getting JRF and SRF. So JRF is Junior Research Fellowship. That is about 13,000 per month. 13,000 rupees per month will be given to you to continue your studies for 2 years. And you will get contingency. Contingency means for purchasing books, laptops, printers, for those things, you will get 6,000 per year. So with this amount, you can complete your masters. So this will be a surplus amount. So this will give you as financial stability. So even if you are from a poor background, if your family cannot support your studies, no problem at all. You will be getting this amount per month. So it will increase your financial stability. And next is better career opportunities. Once you go out of Tamil Nadu, you will get better contacts. You will get exposed to better people. You will get exposed to better institutions. At present you might not be visualizing the things which I am sharing, but once you get into such institutes outside Tamil Nadu, some premier institutes like GKVK, PJTSAU, Dharwad, these institutes will be having people who are trying for civil services, or who are trying for some other competitive examinations, who are trying for MNC companies, who are doing better research. So all these students will be there, faculty will be there. So you will be getting a lot of opportunities if you go outside and study masters in universities which are outside Tamil Nadu. So these are the advantages of writing ICAR, AIAA and getting into state agricultural universities outside of Tamil Nadu. So first is you will be getting a good subject base. So that is the key factor here. Even if you could not get JRF, JRC, that is, even if you are not one among the 310 students, you will be getting 5,000 per month fellowship if you have cleared this ICAR. So that is one of the biggest advantages. If you get JRF, you will get 13,000 per month. Even if you didn't get JRF, you will be getting non-JRF fellowship of 5,000 per month. So even if you could not make it, even if you could not get JRF, you can get 5,000 per month fellowship. So this is another big advantage. So better understanding, better exposure, you will be getting financial stability, and out of that, next after your masters, you will be having a better vision and clear goal once you clear this and go out of your comfort zone. Okay. So next is, what are the career opportunities for students who are in this academic line? First is agricultural research service. This is the service offered by ICAR. Scientist means this is the basic eligibility. You will be posted as, once you clear this examinations. For this, you have to write an examination. Once you clear this examination, you will be posted as scientist in various research institutes or various deemed universities. So your domain will be doing research. Next is, you can be you can apply for assistant professors in agricultural and allied universities. Even in IITs, we have our PhD candidates working as assistant professors. And next is scientists in different other research institutions like BARC and ISRO. I know some of my friends who have completed agronomy, soil science, being placed in BARC and ISRO. Even some of the FRI institutes, people have been selected as scientists. So next is for students who are interested in economics and extension, you have opportunities like RBR and RBA and NABARD, and even in top MNC companies, like people who are interested in management studies will get might get placed in MNC companies like ITC and all. Next is most important thing is 2 years you will be having your financial stability, and also you will be having a lot of time. So 2 years is a big time. In that 2 years, one thing is you will get in-depth knowledge about a particular subject. That is your master's. You will become a master in some of your interest, subject of your interest. Next is you will be getting a lot of time in which you can prepare for other competitive examinations if you wish, because in competitive exams like civil services, like UPSC conducted by UPSC, you have to be specialized in some subjects, if you know. So you can select agriculture as one of the subject or economics as one of the subjects. So like that, you can select your subjects of your specialization. So these are the most important career opportunities once you select this academic line. So this is scientist in agricultural research services. So agricultural research are there, research institutes are there, project directorates, national bureaus, everywhere scientists are being placed through this agricultural research service. This an examination is conducted by ASRB. So next is assistant professor and scientists in different other institutions. You can go for RBA and NABARD exams. If you're interested in doing management studies, you can select like ITC or even civil services. So all these you will get direct and clear vision, and you will get lot of time. So plus apart from this, you will be having the financial stability. So for these 2 years, we will be giving you a lot of things if you clear this AIWA examinations. So this is the setup. How ICAR works is we have this National Agricultural Research System in this Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. Under this is the Apex Ministry for Agriculture, Farmers Welfare. Under this, three departments: Department of Agriculture, Cooperation, Farmers Welfare, Department of Animal Husbandry, Dairy and Fisheries, and Department of Agricultural Research and Education. We call it as DAR. So Indian Council of Agricultural Research directly comes under the supervision of the Department of Agricultural Research and Education, DAR. And the Director General of ICAR is the Secretary of DAR. So he draws the power from being the Secretary of DAR. So all these deemed universities, state agricultural universities, everything comes under the supervision of Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So that is the Apex Institute. It is an autonomous body, and it is an Apex Institute for Agricultural Research and Education in India. So this is a setup, and you will get any one of the deemed universities or state agricultural universities or central universities. So in any of the 3 universities, you will be getting placed. So this is the overall picture. If you see, what you see is we have a body, autonomous body, which is responsible for agricultural education and research, and that conducts an exam called AIWA every year for PhD. So that it is every year. We have 1,254 total. For agricultural discipline alone, we have that much number of seats, and 310 exclusively, 310 numbers of fellowship seats. That is JRF. Even if you didn't get JRF, you will be getting fellowship. But most important thing is widening and deepening of your knowledge. If you select academic career, close your eyes and write AIWA exam. Right from 3rd year, start preparing. So there are various subjects. There are people who are studying outside Tamil Nadu, people from Tamil Nadu,
Ravi disconnect one time join.
அதான் சார் அவர் டிஸ்கனெக்ட் ஆயிட்டாரு, ஜாயின் பண்ண சொல்லி. வந்துட்டாரு.
So whoever is interested in feel free to contact. There are students, there are WhatsApp groups, there are Telegram groups who you can rely on, who will help you for your preparation, help you in your preparation. So feel free to contact. So this is the setup. So you have to write an exam. You have to go for counseling and then admission. Only thing is you have to select. If you are interested in academics, directly go for AIW exams. You will get, right now, you might not be knowing or you might not be understanding the benefits of it. But once you get into universities, you will be knowing, or you will be, after compare yourself with students from other universities, and then you will be knowing the 3 months of your effort. But just 3 months, 3-4 months, if you sit and prepare very sincerely, definitely you can clear. So this is from my side. If you wish to ask any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm ready to answer. Thank you, sir, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Naranjan.
Students, kindly post your doubts and clarifications, because it's a very big opportunity. And also I request Niranjan, give your contact number for any further preparation aspect. And
I will mention that in the chat box.
Okay. Students, kindly post your doubts, because apart from our helping of staffs, your seniors have good guide you very better way. So kindly ask any doubts to your senior. Students, kindly note the ID number, mail ID and phone contact of Mr. Niranjan for further any clarifications. So kindly see the chat box for the contact details of Mr. Niranjan. Students, kindly post your doubts, because we need to start other session. Students, so exam, I want to say one thing. We know about Mr. Niranjan. He hardly worked for 3 to 4 months for preparation in UG. So we are directly see that effort. So now also you have time to prepare. So you ask such type of tips from Mr. Niranjan and how to attempt very short period of time. Especially final year students, I know he start February. I'm personally know he start the preparation from February and he cracked the examination from June. So hardly 4 months he work hard and attempt the examination. So likewise, you also take tips from Mr. Niranjan for cracking examination in very short period time also.
Is there any cross-making marks for ICAR? You are போட்டிருக்கீங்க, but I can't understand that. Is there any cross-making marks for ICAR? How to cover the general agriculture, sir? See, general agriculture, best way is to discuss with people who are preparing. Suppose if you are preparing for social sciences, all other subjects will be general agriculture, like plant science, everything is general agriculture. So best thing is, and quickest possible thing is, if you are preparing for social science, like for example economics, you might not be knowing anything about plant science or biochemistry. You will not be knowing. So best thing is get a person or get a get your colleague who is preparing other subject like entomology or microbiology, some other subject, and then get advice from him. He knows what are the important things. You cannot cover the entire subject for sure. So best thing is get a person who is preparing the required subject. Suppose you don't know entomology, or you don't know agronomy, or you don't know soil science. Get a student who is preparing for soil science. So get a student who is preparing for agriculture entomology and get the important things from him. He knows what are the important things. So if you are preparing for economics, you know what are the important things in economics. You can share it to him, and you can get advice from the person who is preparing entomology. He knows better. He knows how to prepare. He knows the format of questions in that subject. So the best thing is discuss with the cross-disciplinary students. Is there any special books to prepare for ICAR exams? No special books. All the standard books. If you first select your discipline of interest and let me know, I'll share with you the details of books. Our syllabus is enough or need to study extra, sir? Mostly 75-80% of your syllabus will be sufficient, but you have to study extra things. Deep. See, your syllabus will be like floating water. Means you will be reading a lot of things, but you need a little deeper understanding of all those all your syllabus. That is enough. Your syllabus will be more than enough, but you will be reading notes. But you have to start reading books. Only then you can actually attempt the questions. Otherwise, you will be finding it very difficult.
Any other doubts?
Is general agriculture common for all subject? Or no. It is common for all. Means, see, in case of PG, you cannot expect the same question from in all the disciplines. That may vary. We don't know, but subject is syllabus is same. Syllabus, general agriculture syllabus is same for all. That is for sure. But you cannot expect questions. I don't know. Sir, is general agriculture common for? Yeah, it is common for all the subjects. It's common for all the subjects. Okay. Is there anything else? You can ask me, or you can write a mail to me.
Students, any more doubts? Students, any more doubts? Okay. Further clarification, you kindly contact Niranjan through phone or mail ID. So kindly take the help, not only in form of preparing. You can approach the seniors. Because he's studying in IRA, he have a lot of contact for your related subjects. For example, if you prepare for plant breeding, he have a lot of contact in plant breeding. So kindly approach him, such a help, take such help from the guiding from the IRA senior also. Okay. So if no more doubts, we will conclude the session.
Niranjan, is there any separate WhatsApp group like Niranjan?
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, is there any separate WhatsApp group for guiding the students? Like if it is social science, is there any separate group? Can you
Sir,
join the student?
it is there. There are lots of groups, sir. But I think we don't have WhatsApp group, but we have groups in Telegram.
Okay.
If we want, we can have a group only for groups are there everywhere, sir. Like every state has its own group. Like Karnataka students will be having one group. So like that, groups will be there. In even we don't have a exclusive group for Tamil Nadu as of now. If students are approaching, then we can have. Even now, students are there in IRI.
Okay.
Even this year they have cleared. So in that way we can create a group, no issues.
Okay. Niranjan, one more request. our students are highly facing the general agriculture questions. It's a trouble in facing general agriculture questions. They are attempting subject questions, but they are little bit trouble in general agriculture questions. So I kindly request, can you facilitate in general agriculture questions some important question bank in future?
That we can do, sir. We can. I think there are standard books, but as I said, the best way is discuss with students from other disciplines. That is the best way, because as we all know that general agriculture is a very, very vast thing. We cannot pick questions from that. But one thing we can do is, there are standard books and there are standard question banks that we can share. But the best thing is to discuss with students from the cross-discipline in cross-discipline way. Suppose economic students can discuss with internal. That is the best way.
Okay.
And the easiest way.
So also request you contact with the general agriculture exams with your IRA question if possible.
That we can do, sir. That is okay. That we can do.
We frequently conduct once in a week or 50 days in once, conduct the general agriculture test through IRA bank questions if possible.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Sir, shall we conclude the session, sir?
Yes. Thank you, Niranjan.
Thank you, sir. I'll leave. Thank you.
Niranjan, just
Thank you,
1 minute. Niranjan, this is the correspondent. Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
It's I think it's a very proud day for us when we have alumni coming and addressing our students. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I was very surprised when you said there is no group for Tamil Nadu students. Why is that so? It's just a curious question.
Actually, ma'am, students create group subject wise, like discipline wise. Suppose for plant science, and it's like that. I am from social science background.
Okay.
And there might be group. I don't know for other subjects. I'm not sure about my subject. It's not like one group for the whole state. It's not happening that way.
I thought maybe students from Tamil Nadu have started going down. Number of students from Tamil Nadu.
Yes, it's going down now. But in the last 2 years, it is coming up. But it's comparatively it's lesser when compared to other states.
So I think we have to look up to role models like you to probably motivate our students also, because we have to go for higher studies. My second preference only is the rest. When you study the most difficult course in the UG and finally leave it and do something else, I don't think that's the right way. And what you are showing is the right way, I think. And I think people like you will be good role models for our students. So thank you.
Thank you.
Niranjan, can you share your experience in IARI since you are there for 3+ years? So how was IARI?
Yes, sir. IARI actually,
because you got a lot of contacts like young professional or even for civil service also like that. So what is the because these people are new to that, and I hope that 2018 batch also they are not going to All India tour. So you can share your experience at IARI so that you get some.
Yes. Actually, thing is, I was in Dharwad, University of Agricultural Sciences, Dharwad, but I was in Bijapur, in that campus, Bijapur campus, for 2 years. After that, I went to. I did not go directly into IRI. First, I was working in National Institute of Agricultural Economics and Policy Research, NIAP. Then it was called as NCAP. There I was working for an year, I think, 8 months. And then I was working in Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare under the Secretary of ICAR. So those time I was working for a project, and simultaneously I was preparing. And after I prepared for some 4-5 months, and then I wrote PhD entrance examination for IRI. And then I got into IRI. So one thing which I want to share about personally being, because I have studied in Tamil Nadu, I have studied in Karnataka, and I have studied in Delhi also.
Yes.
one thing is Delhi is a hub of institutes and hub of many administrative institutions and many research institutions. You will get a lot of exposure. You will be suppose if people wish to write civil services exam or economic service exam or any other competitive exam or research, you will as I said, there will be a lot of people. Personally, you will be seeing a lot of people. Personally, you will be the names which you read only in books will be you will be seeing directly there. There will be questions. Even there will be questions in ICAR examinations. Where is IASRA located? So Indian Agricultural Statistics and Research Institute. It is in Delhi, and we used to go there for our statistics classes. So when you see some of the institutes which you see in your question, so those things will be you won't forget it right? You will remember it forever. So those things will be there. Whatever you see in your subject or whatever names you see in your books, you will be seeing it live there. So those experience, whenever you see that, once you open your book, when you see places and when you see people, when you see institutes in books which you actually see there, you will never forget it. Whatever research you might be seeing some of the research in books, and you'll be seeing the person who actually does that research. You'll be getting time to speak to him. You'll be getting, if you are interested in that area, you'll get time to speak to him. People will be very willing to talk about any of the research or any people are so helpful. A lot of Tamil people are there in IRI. The thing is exposure. That is the thing you will miss in other states, even in any other states. If you are in Hyderabad, you will be exposed to many institutes now. Krida, many institutes are there in Hyderabad also. And people in Hyderabad also will be getting a very good exposure. But particularly Delhi is hub of this administrative institutes like Parliament is there, Supreme Court is there, Rashtrapati Bhavan is there. Even though it is not in your discipline, not of your scope, but you will get to things which only you see in television or something. So that will give you an extra. You're something extra than the people who are studying in Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or Maharashtra. So aim for institutes like IRI. At least you will be at the minimum you will be landing in Hyderabad. So anyways, always target for Delhi. Being in Delhi.
Niranjan, just one more question.
Very good explanation.
Niranjan, just one more question. That's not a very simple question, maybe, but keeping in mind all the blank people who are not showing their faces, the confidence level. How do you pick up your confidence level? That is the biggest challenge, I think, what our students are facing. It's not the delivery of the curriculum or their capability. It's only the confidence. So how do we now boost their confidence to even think about, can I go there? Can I live there alone? Will I be able to manage? This is probably, could be the question from a lot of the minds. Raise the hands if you think I'm right. This is the question you have in your mind. So what is it that you do to boost your, what were you as a student in UG? Were you an outgoing student? Were you a confident student? Or did you pick up the confidence throughout your education or later on? I think that is one of the biggest challenges, my personal opinion.
Ma'am, actually, this is one of very interesting thing which you asked. Actually, in UG, when you go out of your campus, you see any student from other campus, like even from government campuses, you'll feel low. You will feel inferior to yourself. Even I have felt inferior when I see people from even from constituent colleges or from our own TNAU Coimbatore, because I was from an affiliated campus, so I was inferior whenever I go for ICT or whenever I go for a common event. I always felt inferior. But when you crack an when you crack an exam, which is pan-India, so that gives you a high level of confidence. You won't, overnight will be developing that confidence. You won't know where it has come from, but definitely it will give you something. After that, you will never feel inferior. You will be very confident on yourself. As a UG graduate from Vanavar Institute, I have many times I have felt inferior to even students from Coimbatore. But once you crack that exam, you go outside, people from Coimbatore will be approaching you they will be asking you how to read, how to study, or what are the materials. When you see that, but that moment, and you will break all that inferiorities, and everything will be gone. Only thing is that exam, clearing that exam will give you a lot of confidence. Once the moment you get to see that you are selected as JRF, that gives you a lot of confidence. Straight away, I don't know how that works or something, but only that clearing that PG exams will give you a lot of confidence.
Thank you, Niranjan. Thank you. Kalidas, proceed.
Yes, ma'am. Niranjan, and another question actually, which we are talking a lot, because most of the students are joining agriculture, thinks that UPSC as their goal, and they are not concentrating on their higher education or some other PG educations. So what is your suggestion? See, can the students directly write UPSC exam or TNPC, or can they do PG course after that they can join?
Sir, actually,
you have seen a lot of people are there in IRA, and yeah, again they also have the motto of joining civil service, but they say that IRA is the best place so that they can learn a lot like that. So,
sir, actually, this is what actually happens. But there are people who are passionate about research, and even after getting into IRA, they have pursued their research as a career, and they have not opted for civil service. So, but question from UG, it is very subjective, sir. It depends on many factors, many variables are there. It is a personal wish, particularly. One thing I would like to share is academics. If a person selects academics, he has to be 2 times more passionate than a person who selects civil service or banking or anything else, because this is a pure passion. Only that will drive you. Many times you will be getting failure in research. I think 80 times you will get failure, and only 20 times you will get a positive result. So you have to be very passionate and very passionate about your research or your academics. That is a specialization. You will not be getting new things daily. Nothing. You have to be on a single track. So people in UG, they have to decide whether they are interested in a particular subject. If they are interested in a particular subject, only then they can go into this academic field, higher education. This, otherwise they will lose hope after PG. They will be thinking that, oh, we are reading the same thing, or we can get a job, or civil services are highly attractive. So that those things, because people around them will be doing many different things, and they will easily get diverted. Only thing is pure passion. You have to be very passionate about your research and your academics. Only then this is possible, sir. There are because lack of employment, unemployment problems are there. Many their family issues, many problems are there. But still, one thing which will drive you is your passion. Only then you can opt for PhD.
okay. And I think in IRA is the place which gives, like as you said, confidence, and also it's a hub for educational institutions like civil service educational institutions.
Yeah.
Is it coaching centers?
Yeah.
Is it right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is a hub. You can access. See, if you want to be in Delhi in a private rented house, you have to pay some 10,000-15,000. But you'll be you can have that stability. You will be provided food at very cheap cost, and you will be staying in a hostel without any fee. So you can access air conditioned library. Everything is there. So
Yes.
the only thing is you have to be disciplined. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Niranjan. Over to Ravi. Ravi, please.
Niranjan, ஒரே ஒரு short question.
Nice, sir.
We are seeing that initially you are struggling in the preparation. We all know that. ரொம்ப சிரமப்பட்டீங்க நம்ம சின்ன ஒரு படிக்கிறது கூட அதெல்லாம் எப்படி எந்த விஷயத்தை பிரேக் ஏன்னா நிறைய பேர் initially they come forward to prepare, then later some hesitation is going. So எந்த விஷயம் அதை நீங்க திரும்ப அந்த ஹெசிடேஷனை பிரேக் பண்ணி how we prepare அந்த விஷயத்தை மட்டும் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் சொன்னீங்கன்னா அவங்களும் அதை திரும்ப வருவாங்க.
Sir, actually, first thing is selecting the right subject. You should not select a subject particularly because your friend is selecting or he is selecting, or you will easily get JRF. A lot of JRF seats are there, so you will easily get JRF. And the மாதிரி வந்து subject select பண்ணும்போது from the heart இந்த subject வந்து it is my subject, இந்த subject என்னால படிக்க முடியும், அதுல என்ன பண்ணாலும் என்னால புரிஞ்சுக்க முடியும், அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற means basically thing is subject which you can understand very well. See, for most of the people economics will be very difficult, and some of the people biochemistry will be difficult, biotechnology. So first step is selecting a subject which you can understand. That is first. Next is நம்ம எவ்வளவுதான் நமக்கு பிடிச்ச சப்ஜெக்ட் நம்ம செலக்ட் பண்ணாலும் there will be something which you cannot understand or there will be difficult things. அது திருப்பி வந்து you have to read and you have to practice, you have to try. அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கும்போது தான் வந்து you will get clarity in the subject. At least suppose if I am suggesting you some 5-6 books before appearing for exam, you have to read all the 6 books at least 3 times, minimum 3 times. நீங்க வந்து book full தரவா நல்லா படிச்சிருந்தீங்கன்னா, see, this is not like your 10th and 12th examinations where you can study and write exams. So this is not the case. இது அப்படி ஒர்க்கே ஆகாது. ஒரு பேஜ்ல இருக்க ஒரு சென்டென்ஸுக்கும் அர்த்தம் இருக்கும். அதை பேஸ் பண்ணி பின்னாடி வர சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ்ல இருக்கிற விஷயங்கள் நிறைய வரும். ஸோ பேசிக் இஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங். உங்களுக்கு நல்லா புரியணும். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அதுதான், உங்களுக்கு நல்லா புரியணும். நீங்க உங்க பக்கத்துல இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு சொல்லிக் கொடுக்குற அளவுக்கு புரியணும். புரியறதுதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட். புரிஞ்சிருச்சுன்னா நீங்க அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் விடவே மாட்டீங்க. ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங். அதை டெவலப் பண்ணிங்க. டவுட்ஸ் வரும்போது then and there you have to clear your doubts. அதுதான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லேக் ஆகுதுன்னு சொல்றது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அந்த பேசிக்ஸ் வந்து கரெக்டா படிச்சிட்டீங்கன்னா பின்னாடி வரதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு புரியும். பேசிக் நீங்க வந்து கரெக்டா படிக்கலைன்னா ஒரு புக் அதாவது கொஞ்சம் போனதுக்கு அப்புறமே வந்து உங்களுக்கு புரியாது. அப்போ வந்து ஒரு எத்தனை டைம் படிச்சாலும் புரியல அப்படின்னா, ஏன்னா நீங்க பேசிக் கரெக்டா படிக்கலைங்கன்னா எத்தனை டைம் படிச்சாலும் பின்னாடி இருக்கிற சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் எதுவுமே புரியாது. அப்போ வந்து யூ வில் கெட் ஃப்ரஸ்ட்ரேட்டட், இது புரியவே இல்லை அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி ஆகும். ஸோ whenever you get a doubt, go back to your basics. கரெக்டா மறுபடியும் பேசிக்ஸை படிச்சுட்டே இருங்க. அப்போ வந்து திருப்பி ஒரு கிளாரிட்டி வரும். அப்போ திருப்பி வந்து அட்வான்ஸ்ட் திங்ஸ் யூ கேன் ரீட். எப்பவுமே பேசிக் திங்ஸ்ல உங்களுக்கு வந்து நீங்க டக்குன்னு போயிடுவீங்க. அப்புறம் ஒரு இடத்துல போகும்போது புரியாது, அப்படியே ஃப்ரஸ்ட்ரேட் ஆயிரும். ஸோ என்ன பண்ணணும்னா திருப்பி அந்த பேசிக்ஸ் கரெக்டா படிச்சுட்டே இருந்தீங்கன்னா தான் வந்து உங்களுக்கு அடுத்தடுத்த லெவல்ல இருக்கிறதெல்லாம் புரியும். திங் இஸ் வெரி 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 சிம்பிள். ரீட் பேசிக்ஸ் வெரி வெல். ஃபண்டமெண்டல்ஸ் ஆர் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஃபண்டமெண்டல்ஸ் மட்டும் கரெக்டா படிச்சீங்கன்னா உங்களுக்கு எல்லாமே புரியும். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சப்ஜெக்ட் செலக்ட் பண்றது, அடுத்தது பேசிக்ஸ். இது ரெண்டு தான், வேற எதுவுமே இல்லை.
தேங்க்யூ நிரஞ்சன். So we expect your continuous guidance for our students to motivate in writing ICAR examination and also assisting in the preparation. So we continuously need your guidance for our students. Thank you, Niranjan.
Sure, thank you. So I will leave, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Niranjan. Thank you, Niranjan, for the information.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Sir, we conclude the session.
Yes.
Okay. So on behalf of this our college, I request Mr. Balamurali, Assistant Professor of BAA, to conclude, provide vote of thanks for this session.
Respected correspondent madam, respected director sir, and respected principal and vice principal and senior staffs and staffs of BAA, and participants of VA and KIA, and around 300 participants from various platforms like YouTube and other platforms. Good morning, Kondal, and it is my greatest privilege to give an out of thanks to Niranjan. He is one of my classmates. He is a person from Manakadavu to Delhi, came back to Manakadavu. Today, in this online platform, in this online era, he actually given good guidance to our VA students. As an alumni, he did a great job, and I personally believe that he is having better national exposure, which is actually given to our students. During his studies, he is excel in sports, chess and volleyball, and simultaneously he prepared for ICAR exam, and he pursued that thing because of I personally believe that because of VA staffs, because he contacts our staffs even during 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock over phone call, and he having good rapport with them, and VA library actually helped him to solve his initial struggles, and we have lots of books, and our seniors actually helped for referring some books, and if we facing any difficulty in understanding the subject, our senior staffs and seniors actually helped him. I request Niranjan, please do the same thing for our juniors, our upcoming generations, and for preparation, his expertise in notes making. His own notes, I seen his own notes, which is like anything. He writes simply, and he having two types of notes. One in running type of notes, and he's having elaborate type of notes. In notes, you can see these things. And he rightly pointed out, even this online era, there is a difference between person from State Agriculture University and in Delhi have different exposure. And if you have an idea, State Agriculture University save differently, and central universities are better institution shaping your ideas in a different way. If you are in expertise in something which
Murli, sorry to disturb. I think the next speaker is online already. So we have crossed 3 minutes into the next time. So we need to conclude and probably introduce Balaji to the students. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, madam. I thank you, Mr. Niranjan, for this giving this elaborate this thing, this online event. Thank you, Mr. Niranjan. Thank
you. I request Dr. Kalidas sir to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Balaji, and this in the topic of scope of plant protection studies in TNAU and other SAUs.
Respected correspondent madam, respected director sir, principal sir, my dear colleagues and student friends, and the guest speaker of the day, Dr. R.K. Balaji. So Balaji, he did his UG during 2011 to 15 at our college, and after that he did his PG in Pajankond RI, Karaikal, and after that PhD in Tamil Nadu Agriculture University, Coimbatore, and he is a very passionate, enthusiastic entomologist. So it is a proud one, because from our college, the persons who are studying entomology are they are very passionate in their subject. So and in that, Mr. Balaji, Dr. Balaji is also one of them. I request Dr. Balaji to take over the session. So Balaji, please.
Sir, good morning, sir. Thank you all for this opportunity. So I wish to directly go to our presentation.
You can, Balaji.
Yes, sir. Good morning. I think you are visible to the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
So Center of Plant Protection Studies. So the center comprises of 4 departments in the whole, with agriculture and entomology, sericulture, plant pathology, and nematology. So then you see there are a number of scholarships provided for both MSc and PhD programs. It's worldwide available and also locally available from our state university. So under MSc there is only a handful of scholarships as of now, because there is a trend of increased attraction over doctoral studies. So the attraction for MSc as with scholarship is a little limited compared to doctoral studies. So we have university fellowship for master science, followed by JRF, junior research fellow, under the various schemes of the staffs, and student exchange programs with MOUs, and company based scholarships, those companies which will be dealt later. So for postgraduate, doctoral studies, we have a number of scholarships. I have limited to a few which I have been exposed to. So the one first which I wish to give detailed upon is the Jawaharlal Nehru Memorial Fund, under which I was selected for the scholarship, and it is a purely it's like an award, because we have to apply it through our what to say, the proposal of research, and only based on that they'll be giving us this award and the scholarship. Next is the Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship, later followed by Vice Chancellor Fellowship. This is a state university fellowship. Later Inspire, under Inspire there are various MOUs signed, and under this also there are student exchange programs. Recently one of the PhD student has been exchanged with IIHR Bangalore, and another student in Israel University. Later followed by a few scholarships which are confined to taxonomy and entomology alone, which is Ruford Grant Small Fellowships. This is for a taxonomist, and Ernest Mayer Travel Grants is also for taxonomy based surveys. Later we have DBT, DST, CSR scholarships, where DBT, DST are acquired through exams, and CSR scholarships are acquired through publications and our proposals. Later followed by the company-based scholarships given by companies, example like Bayer, Monsanto, etc. So these are the companies. So under these companies, the companies also provide scholarship schemes, tie up with departments and universities, and also their personally funded projects, where post MSc and PhD we get to take positions as district and state managers, carrying out trials and experiments for seed production, chemical testings, and residual analysis, etc. So these are a few companies such as Borg, Corteva, Central Drug House, Indoboga, Coromandel, East West Seed, FMCs, Godrej Agrovet, and Indofil, Rasi Seeds, Adama, Mascot, Syngenta, Rallis, UPL, and Bayer. So other than the companies, there are scientist positions available post MSc and also PhD. And I hope already we have, maybe you may be known to ASRB, Agriculture Science Recruitment Board, which also conducts the department-based NET exams. In that, through NET exams, we have ARS positions, Agriculture Scientist Recruitment. So aside that, we have DST programs where scientist posts are available, and IFGTP, where recently I hope our juniors has been already selected for economics, sorry, I couldn't remember a junior's name, who has been selected under entomology and also economics. And we have Central Silk Board, where both MSc Agriculture and entomology have been called for recently. And we have a DPT, Department of Biotechnology. These are the organizations that recruit masters and doctors, students, scholars as scientists. And later we have technical officers. So technical and general managers in various government organizations such as Central Warehouse and TNCSC, which is Tamil Nadu Nugarvoor Vanivek Kalagam, Tamil Nadu Civil Supplies Corporation. Okay, then DPPQS, Directorate of Plant Protection, Quarantine and Storage, where assistant plant protection officers are appointed for inspecting various export and imported products for exotic and invasive pests. And Food Corporation of India, and again Central Silk Board post aside scientists, they also take in technical officers and managers. Then we have various fellowships such as Senior Research Fellow, Research Assistant, and Postdoctoral Fellowship. That is, after PhD, we have another study for an year or so. According to the project, we could improve our knowledge and also profession. And the organizations that provide these fellowships include Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, Delhi, Kanpur, and Madras, various other IIT places, and very importantly, Indian Institute of Sciences. So I have known friends and seniors who have made IIT and IISc as platforms for their career and life, and they have been more exposed to new persons and specialists through fellowships at these reputed organizations. So aside scientists and technical managers, we also have assistant professor, that is lectureship, conducted by the CSIR and UGC through their NET exams, where this NET exam serves as a dual platform both for NET and also lectureship, where if we get to clear this lectureship, we could be posted as assistant professor at their listed universities under the UGC. So other than these, we have other banking sector special officers. For an example, HDFC, Axis, and Federal Banks, where the agri loans are being processed by MSc agri students. So I think my presentation is a little short, but this is the whole gist. So I think we could go to the discussion session. Hello.
Balaji, we can go to the discussion session once. So students, if you have any questions, you can ask, please.
Balaji, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Balaji, you just explained the amount, fellowship amount. Do you have any idea?
Okay, the basic fellowship amount that the company provides for my batch, there was a Bayer scholarship program, which was 10,000 per month for 3 years standardly, and it will be awarded based on what is it, OGPA. After either MSc category, the Bayer scholarship is provided for the doctoral studies, which has been based on either MSc OGPA or the OGPA that we score during the first and second trimesters, and that will be the least amount. The highest will be conferred to about in CSIR. My junior has been receiving recently for an amount of about 41 to 51. So per month, I am telling. So they are being awarded that much scholarship to encourage them to pursue their research studies. Aside this monthly stipend, they are also being provided contingencies annually for their stay and also travel. This is pertaining to the master's and doctoral studies. Aside this, for the research fellows such as SRF and JRF, the basic salary for SRF and JRF will be about 31 to 51 in the other states, and there are norms that curtail this amount, and hence in Tamil Nadu alone the salary varies with 25 to 40.
Okay, Balaji. You just explained the ICAR preparation, especially entomology subject. How to easily prepare and to get the fellowship. Any idea?
I could tell, ma'am, that any step won't be easy. That is the thing. So we have to, as earlier Niranjan said, we have to be fluent with the subject. So we have to be thorough with the content, such that you see, we have to be thorough as such. We'll be remembering the page number of various chapters. So that much thorough understanding of the concept and what to say subject will land us at any places we want to reach. And even if he said if you're going to study 3 books, we have to be thorough about it. What is I'm saying that as of now for UG we use the basic book Insecta, and a lot of students I have what to say come across where they say I am thorough with that book, but when we approach to a question which is like a basic thing, and they stumble upon that question, and they are not as fluent as they think. So sometimes not only rereading and revising will help us. We'll have to expose ourselves to various questionnaires. So we have to the main my understanding is to learn something you need to teach. Only through teaching you'll come across people where they put forth their questions. So you have to teach and prepare questionnaire for someone else. Once you start training people, you learn something. So if you want to learn a subject, you have to start teaching. It may be contradictory, but that's what I have observed till now. So once you start teaching, only you can face those questions where you are unable to give someone the idea of the concept. So if you are going to make someone understand the concept, you have to be thorough with that. Only then you can make them understand. For example, you need not have your juniors or friends who have a knowledge of the subject. You can even try to make your parents understand. So once because most of the parents what to say they won't be having any idea about the subject. So if you're able to make your parents understand the concept, then I'm sure you can you can excel in the subject. So either you need someone to teach or to understand that particular concept and subject. That's what the earlier Rinjan said, that you need the passion. So to acquire that passion, I believe that you need to teach the concept and subject to someone else to face what are the difficulties that may arise.
Okay. Students, you have any doubt? Please ask.
I think I saw a question in the chat box. Is there any scope for plant pathology? So can I answer that, ma'am?
Yeah.
So my opinion is that for every subject that has been designed and framed by any university, there is certainly a scope. There is no subject or no particular lecture that is being framed without any reason. So every lecture or subject has a reasonable future. So everything we have to see is that we have to believe and stay positive that the one we take has a better future. Once you believe that whoever poses a threat to your ideology, you can overcome that. So for every subject, there is certainly a scope. Only we have to see in a different angle. Only then we'll be what to say. Only then we can achieve that. We have to strongly believe there is no particular single way to achieve the destiny. There are multiple ways. There are ways that we have not thought of and we have not being exposed to. We have to search everything, and we can surely reach the destiny that we are aspiring to.
Good morning, Balaji.
Good morning, ma'am.
So how are you?
Fine, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, Balaji, my simple question. I think I don't tend to ask any technical questions. So my question is,
okay, ma'am.
When did you decide? Okay, most children, I think, join BSc Agri because of parents are saying that, or they have some idea they'll get a good job, or that kind of aspiration. That's what pushes them into BSc Agri. What made you choose plant protection? First of all, what made you decide to do a post-graduation? And in that, why did you choose plant protection? So what drives, and beyond that, what drove you to do your PhD? So just give me just a glimpse into your mental progression from UG to post-graduation to PhD. Thank you.
Okay. So during my undergraduate, I was before my BSc, when I was having a love for insects, but it was like so subtle. During my undergraduation, the exposure through the courses and the place gave me a good feeling, the happy feeling that we want to learn a lot about the subject. So that was one thing, and I have to refer my senior here, my senior Pichi Murugan, who brought me here through beekeeping. So my liking for entomology came through beekeeping. So I would say he and of course Dr. Manjula ma'am, both of them were important person playing behind my liking for entomology, and they were like a catalyst to my liking. So that one, those what to say events made me to take MSc, and for PhD actually it's a simple thing where what to say, my mother had a liking where she wanted me as a that was also very subtle. It was just one time incident where she said it would be nice if there was a doctor. So she wanted to take MBBS. So I thought I'll take a doctor here. So that's it. That's why.
On a lighter note, I don't think your mother can be subtle at all. I know her because she's my classmate. Subtlety is not a hallmark of Kalyani for sure. Okay, please continue.
No, actually, where she wanted to do, but my grandfather did not want to waste a seat in MBBS because he was sure she's not going to be a professional person. She's not going to take a profession. And that was a point where I wanted to do a doctorate.
But a sad thing, because your mother was the best of all her classmates. We used to run to her for notes. So I think that's a loss for medicine, I would say.
And I want to put a note that I was not a shrewd person in the class. I used to sleep, and I am not ashamed to tell that. And those things made me more attentive. Where post all classes I'll sleep, and I will also be running against friends. They were not so what to say. Attentive to take notes, but through their notes only I was able to get the subject. Because you miss a class, you have to keep up to the speed of the class in the next session. So I will be taking notes from them, not one person, but a collective of 3 or 4 persons. So I'll compile from them, and I'll try to stay in the speed. Even today.
Listening to you, and I think Niranjan earlier also, students realize how important the notes are. And as director pointed out, by the time the exams are over, the maintenance team are ready to pick up all the paper and put it into sacks and it's all leaving the campus. That has to stop.
Yes,
everybody has to maintain their notes till the end of the education, because you never know, the sparks comes from anywhere. Suddenly in the third year, you might decide to go for a PG program. So always keep your notes safe and be very, try, as you said, multiple notes. I used to do that. I used to pick up notes from multiple people so that we get different variations for the same truth, So sometimes one clicks with you, the other will not click with you. So it's very important that you get multiple notes and keep what really connects with you. I agree with that.
Yes.
Thank you.
And notes is not just important for competitive exams. So during research, you will be taking notes, and everything has to be safe, because the one point you observe will be helpful after 10 years. You cannot believe yourself, not 10 years may be a long span, but even during the notes that you take in the first semester will be surely helping you during the final semester, where you will be writing the thesis. So those are the important things that help you to stand out from the crowd.
Thank you, Niran. Thank you, Balaji. I'll let the students ask questions, or we'll move on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Students, any questions?
Balaji, my question, one suggestion. I want one suggestion.
Yes,
you. Balaji,
yes,
you have studied UG here, PG at Karaikal, and PhD at TNAU. So based on this, your experience in the 6 years outside our campus, what are all the additional facilities you feel that can be included at VAE?
Okay.
Not only
for
not only for entomology, but general for UG. What are all the facilities you feel that can be included based on your experience?
Sir, there are few research equipments necessary, but the thing is, those equipments need to be used under a regular basis. So that has not been started in our college. But aside that, I don't think our campus needs any upgradation in case of lab. I think we are self-satisfied compared to compared. I can't say above other labs, but on par with other labs such as Bajanko and also TNAU. So I believe if there are research activities taking place in our campus itself, no need elsewhere, just inside our campus, that will bring about good findings. I will say in respect of entomology for this, because I have a better knowledge in other compared to other subjects. Because our place is a really good hotspot for studying the ecosystem, which I haven't even observed even in Coimbatore. Though we are part of the same track, our place is blessed with good natural system with the river, and also our campus by the river with a good what to say, the flora, the plants and trees. It's a really good place for our labs are also in good condition to support that studies. But what is it? Aside the microscopes and other things which I have visited about 3 years ago, I think everything is in place, sir. Only we need a heart and time to work on that. Heart and manpower, of course.
In that case, what is your suggestion for our students? Because you said that all the benefits are available here.
Yes, sir.
But what is your suggestion for the students to motivate to go for higher studies or for research? So what is your suggestion for our students? In what part they have to concentrate?
I think so we need more exposure. Like we are having a talk through seniors and alumni. We need a little more exposure of subject-based streams. Like if people are preparing for a UPSC or preparing for a ICAR, we tend to give them coaching to that particular subject. So we need to meet more people who have been achieving in particular streams. Then they may be inspired or having an idea that okay, I'll try to take this step. Through that their self motivation only we can try to match the gaps, bridge the gap.
Okay. Thank you, Balaji. Thank you, Balaji.
Balaji, there is a question from one student,
Yes.
Praveen Joshi. Is it something like only BSc Sericulture people can work in Central Silk Board? Are we also eligible? BSc Agri graduates also eligible?
No, as of now, for what to say, BSc Sericulture as a technical officers, and for MSc cadets, both MSc Sericulture and MSc Entomology are eligible for scientist post. And I think only BSc is BSc Sericulture and is eligible for a technical officer posting.
Okay.
Kaljas, can we move on? I think our time is now getting limited.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. We'll move on, ma'am. May I now request Dr. T.R. Manjula, ma'am, to propose vote of thanks to Dr. Balaji. Ma'am, please.
On behalf of management, as your presentation is very brief, nice, and useful. Thank you, Balaji. Because the objective of this webinar is most of the students, especially UG students, are trust their seniors only than staff. So you definitely you encourage the students. Your presentation is very nice. Your presentation is a brief opportunities of especially in entomology. So once again, I thank you, Balaji. Thank you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you, Balaji. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Balaji. May I now request Dr. Ravi Kumar, sir, to introduce the next speaker.
Good morning to all. So in the third session, I likely to introduce the speaker. Sir?
Yeah, he's there. Okay.
Sir, is it audible?
Okay. Okay. Very good morning. I'd like to introduce the next speaker of this webinar in the topic of scope of social science studies in TNAU and other SAUs. So the speaker is Mr. Sarath. He is the PhD scholar of Agribusiness Management in Tamil Nadu Agriculture Institute, Coimbatore. Mr. Sarath completed the undergraduate in Vanavara Institute of Agriculture from 2012 to 16 and joined postgraduate studies in TNAU Coimbatore in Agribusiness Management. And also further, he continues doctoral program and he's the third PhD scholar in TNAU. So apart from his academic career, he's a very big interest and passion in writing the articles in Tamil newspaper, especially in Dinamani, Hindu, and other papers. He write lot of Tamil related research articles in these Tamil dailies. is very much passionate in Tamil oriented research, and also he is interested collecting of many of traditional varieties. With that few introduction, I request Mr. Sarath, PhD scholar of Tamil Nadu Agriculturality, to give this session and also inspiring the students to prepare the social science studies in future. Thank you.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Sir, good morning.
Good morning, Sarath. Good morning, Sarath.
Good morning, sir. Sir, how are you, sir?
Very fine, Sarath. How
Thank
is
you,
it
sir.
going on?
Sir, it's going.
Are you continuing this writing part in the magazines? All
Yes,
the
sir.
powerful articles?
Yes, sir. Now I upgraded into newspapers.
Very good, very good, very good, very good.
Thank you, sir, for your motivation.
How is your father? How is your father?
Sir, he's so nice.
He's saying that. So still he supplies the sugarcane for our factory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Still he is cultivating sugarcane.
What is the average yield you are getting from your field?
Sir, per acre 60 to 70 tons.
Good. I think in future, near future, you should join 100 tons club.
Sir, sure, sir. Sir, we are hoping for that.
Yeah. Please give. Please.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Kalidas, sir, can I start?
Sir, you can proceed, sir. You can share the PowerPoint also.
Can I start, sir?
Yes, sir. You can start.
Yes,
the study is usable.
Sir, first of all, thank you, Ravi Kumar, sir, for your introduction. Then I thank you for this opportunity provided by Dr. Kalidas, sir, for presenting this wonderful session to my colleagues at VAA. It's one of the wonderful opportunity for me to talk with you. I hope it will be soon as in person. I will be. I want to meet again with the VAA environment, with my colleagues and with my staff. So I will be going to start with my session on the scope of agri graduates in humanities and social sciences. So these are the contents. Now we are going to see, that's the introduction. Then how the social science is different from the science. Then how the social science is impacting its role and various process in the agriculture. Then how it's importance in terms of lifting agriculture, or in terms of servicing, in terms of providing extension, or like many other things. Then example in terms of how the social science is foremost important for students' career. Then the opportunities that are in social sciences. Then at last is the conclusion. Then first of all is the introduction. Here it's the, you all know, so humanities and social sciences, it's the one of the wide and broad thing. It's a foremost focus on the external environment, not with internal environment, like in terms of plant components or in terms of plant parts, not like that. It externally, it's focus on the social, cultural, environmental, economic, and political. We can call it as the PEST. That means political, economical, social, technological. All these oriented things come under the humanities and social sciences. Here in the humanities and social sciences, it starts with the history. The history in terms of how it's evolving. For example, when you take the Green Revolution, there is the one history. After the 1960, the Green Revolution evolved, and how it supplied food to the people, and how it envisaged poverty from India, and how it helped to food security for our thing. So like that, it got the historical things. And in terms of that historical things, in terms of when we are talking about the Green Revolution, in terms of India, we can talk with Swaminathan, but in terms of world, we can go in with the Norman Borlaug. So like that, there are the humanities and social sciences, varies with these different platforms. Then first is the science and the versus social sciences. There is like a vast difference, and other than thing, I can say there is one of the discrimination prevailing between science and social science students. In Tamil, ஒரு ஸ்டூடெண்ட் வந்து நான் 12th நல்ல மார்க் எடுத்துட்டு நான் வந்து அடுத்து வந்து என்ன படிக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னு கேட்கல. அவர் வந்து நான் இன் டர்ம்ஸ் ஆஃப் நான் ஆர்ட்ஸ் போறேன், இல்ல வந்து எனக்கு பிடிச்ச நான் இல்ல கேட்டரிங் சர்வீஸ் அந்த மாதிரி ஏதோ படிக்கிறேன்னு சொன்னா, தென் த பப்ளிக் ஈவன் தட் ரிலேஷன் தே வில் ரியாக்ட், ஏப்பா இவ்வளவு நல்ல மார்க் எடுத்துட்டு நீ போய் ஏப்பா இது படிக்கிற, நீ டாக்டருக்கு படி, இன்ஜினியருக்கு படி. ஸோ லைக் தட் தேர் இஸ் டிஸ்கிரிமினேஷன் prevailing from that in terms of mark, that the social sciences is not that means not a good for the four people. There is it's like the misconception is going. Even some of the social science staffs also, they are also suggesting you don't go with this. You go with the you want to become a doctor, or you don't go with social science. Like that, even some of the social science faculties also, they are suggesting the students' interest from the moving to these science. So it's happening. It's not it's happening. So when you take the science, I already told that deals with the physical world. That means internal things. But here, our social science deal with the external things in terms of social relationships. Then here the science includes the botany, chemistry, physics, earth science, the astronomy, all these things. Then in terms of social science, it includes the economics, political science, law, geography, and the history. Here, science always depends on scientific methods. Even நம்ம வந்து பேசல வந்து சொன்னா கேட்பாங்க, நீ என்ன பெரிய சயின்டிஸ்டா, நீ பெரிய அறிவாளியா, like that. It has some value. That means science has some value. But when you take the social science, it use scientific methods as well as the going to evaluate whether the scientific method is acceptable one, or we have to develop that. Like that, the social science will be dealing. Then in terms of students can become the medical doctors, nurses, engineers, biologists. But here in the social sciences, there may be lawyers or linguists, that may be in English literature or in other thing. Then historians, writers, journalists, teachers, accountants. There are many other things that these are the key differences between science and the social sciences. So, but when you take the BSc agriculture, it's the science. Then after that, that means we can say how big that is the. After that, the PG studies, it was the social sciences. Okay, let me say social science that is impacting the agriculture. Here there are the three different things. That's in social science in agriculture, they are playing major role. That's one of the agriculture extension in agriculture economics, in agribusiness management. For example, I can say in TNAU, under the Center for Agriculture Research and Studies, there are the three different departments, the functioning as the social science, that is the agriculture extension, economics, and agribusiness management. You know, I think you have studied the agriculture extension, the basic courses, and I think you have studied fields, farmers field, and it is like the that means you have to gather the farmer problems, or what are the farmers encountering problems, in terms of then how we can mitigate that, or how we can suggest. So these are all adjusted with the agriculture extension. In terms of agriculture economics, it's dealing with the economical term. There's the macroeconomics, microeconomics. Then really it is, I want to say agriculture economics, it is one of the interesting one. When you understand the concepts, I am again repeating, when you understand the concept in the agriculture economics, I'm sure you will be going to place your PG and PhD in the agriculture economics. This is the most important one. Then followed by agribusiness management. It's my foremost discipline. Here I want to say, initially after the completing my BSc Agri, I thought I to go with the MSc Agronomy. Then Kalija sir called me and he asked, why you have chosen the agronomy? Then I told, sir, after that I will be going job, like that. I told. Then he asked, okay, in that sense you better choose it will be important, and it will be a linking one for your thoughts and your writings. It will be it's one of the platform for you to engage, because agribusiness management is the growing one with the deal with the different functional areas. And it's I think the nowadays the farming agriculture budget or agriculture infrastructure fund, there are many other funds that related to agribusiness management. Even in doubling of farmers income, the government has proposed the agribusiness management as the first one for developing the farmers' income, in terms of the providing entrepreneurship programs, the offering entrepreneurship programs, or offering some of the food processing related things. These are things. So these are the foremost and the three major things, that agriculture extension, economics, and agribusiness management. Then let me see the importance. Then humanities and social subject includes the that means I already told that it deals with the external environment. However, it's like broadly speaking about questioning, researching, analyzing, evaluating, then communicating how the students have to apply this concept, or how they have to investigate the events, how they have to develop the issues, or in terms of analyzing with the historical point. The starting point deals with the historical things. Then some of from the social science, then I have to enclose with some of the steps. That's the first one, foremost one is the question. In terms of social science student, or you are the social science students, you have to question. Without questioning, you can't compromise as social science students, because the students should develop questions about events, developments, issues, and our phenomenon, because it's the foremost and important one. For example, here I can say one quote from the J.C. Kumarappa. He is the one of the for the touch Valanme. That means for how to depend on their inputs from their farm, not from the outside of the farm, or not from any outside things. So then, while at the time of invention of the tractors, in the I think in the forum, even the scientists from engineers from different platforms, they are organized in one of the dayas. Then suddenly is one of the social scientists. Then J.C. Kumarappa, I think he is the Gandhian economist. We can say is the Gandhian economist. He raised one of the question among the committee. That's the thing. While at the time of invention of the tractor, he asked that நீங்க கண்டுபிடிச்ச டிராக்டர் மாடு மாதிரி சாணம் போடுமா. That means that's the breakdown of the, that means தற்சார்பு வேளாண்மை அப்படின்னா அதுல இருந்து வேளாண்மை வந்து it's a, he thought that as a social scientist, he raised that question. So if there is no that means country cows for for ploughing, then we engaging with the tractors or some other machineries, then there will be automatically there will be disintegration between the that means country plow related techniques. So like that he questioned in the forum. So like that, as a social scientist, the questioning is the foremost and major important one. Then followed by the researching. Then the students should collect and analyze information, evidence, or data from primary and secondary sources. In terms of science, you have to go with the primary related things. That means you have to engage in the science in terms of lab or oriented techniques. But in terms of social science, you can adopt the secondary sources that you can question whether the secondary source is reliable. For example, when you take the government is releasing data on the population or the income or any other thing, the government is releasing analysis of data. At the time, you can raise the question whether it's the reliable one, or based on the secondary question, you can raise different questions. That's the foremost thing in the social science. Then followed by analyzing. Then the students, after that gathering the information, then you have to analyze. That means you have to interpret whether it will be, for example, whether you are studying the cost production function in terms of economics, you can state that how the inputs are engaging in developing the output yield through its terms of fertilizers, or in terms of irrigation, or in terms of like that. You have to interpret whether we increase the fertilizer, then automatically output will be going to income. That will be, you can study only by the social sciences from the economics. Then you can analyze information, evidence, then data to then points. Then you have to interpret. I already told that interpretation is the one of the basic thing in the social science. I think in terms of agriculture economics, you have interpreted many other things. So this is the another thing in the social science. Then followed by evolution. So whether as a social science, I think here I want to say that science, when you do lab work in terms of you are doing the lab work in the Vanavar Institute of Agriculture, that lab work is same to entire part of world or entire part of India. But when you are studying the social science, for example, when you are studying the Pollachi farmers, it's not applicable to entire India. Even it's not applicable to entire Pollachi, because the farmers' range of cultivation crops, it will be varying. Other than the external environment is the, I already told that external environment is the confirming one with the social science. So here you have to draw evidence based on the conclusions, then propose explanations for the events, then developments, issues. Then you have to suggest. That means the suggestion can be in terms of specific area, or in terms of specific location, or in terms of specific country, or any other thing. I think communication here I can touch with the agriculture extension, that's an we were communication model. So communication is the transformation between the input and the output process. So when you take input, not with input output, is the speaker and the receiver. So here the students present findings in appropriate forms for different audience. Then you have to, that means you have to encounter your identified things in terms of public forum. Then you have to defend that. Oh yeah, this is the thing going, this is the thing. So you like communication is the another foremost one in the social science thing. Then here I'm going with one of the example that green revolution with two things, that is the science and social part. For science, we can take the green revolution. They released the high yielding varieties, then they changed the gene, the drought resistant characters, then like that they have exchanged with various phenomenon characters that related to input things. That means I think you have studied the nitration, oxidation, reduction process in terms of engaging with the social science, plant breeding, entomology, pathology, all these things, all these science related things. It will be how it's engaging or how it's helped the green revolution to develop the high yielding varieties. So this is the science. But when you take, when you can, how you have to study green revolution in terms of social science. Here I can go with one of the article given by the Aditya Das Gupta. Is one of the foremost important researcher in the social science. He published an article in the American Political Science Review. He is the professor in the University of California. He identified really interesting things. I think I'm sure you have not at all. That means here this type of points or this type of things from the, you can identify only this type of things from the social scientist itself. So first of all, when you take the green revolution, it is one of the influential factor in the rise of agrarian opposition parties in the he is telling that அப்படின்னா பசுமை புரட்சி வந்ததுனாலதான் வந்து விவசாயிகள் வந்து காங்கிரஸ் ஓட் பேங்க் அங்க இருக்க காங்கிரஸ் ஓட் பேங்க் பண்ணிட்டு they have engaged in the politics. Because why? To study the impact of this politics, Das Gupta in this era of agriculture varieties that planted with high yielding variety crops. That means the 20,000 election races. That means the election heads in different state election between 1957 and 1987 for 3 decades. He analyzed with the different election heads. Then at last he gave interesting identification from that. Analyzing data before and after the green revolution, he find that green revolution, underline that point, green revolution significantly reduced the Congress share of votes and seats in assemblies. You can see due to the evolution of the green revolution, that due to the high yielding varieties, the yield of the crop it has been increased, and due to that the farmers the income level, it will be all income level were increased, so that the farmer thought that, or due to increase in income, they thought that okay, we can contest in the elections. So he tells that green revolution significantly reduced the Congress share of votes and the seats in assemblies. So other than that, he identified 3 channels how the green revolution changed this in terms of farmers related things in terms of politics. First, it provided wealth to farmers, especially lower and intermediate caste farmers. They have presented their thing in the politics. Then second, it intensified farmers' dependence on the government because when you take you are cultivating the high yielding varieties, for their inputs or related things, you have to approach the government department or the government agencies or the government officials. So this created one of the strong linkage between the government officers and as well as the farmers. There is the close bond linkage between the farmers and the government. And finally, it increased the production from the green revolution, even due to the, I think you have studied this concept, there is the demand and supply concept in the economics. Due to oversupply, there will be price will be reduction. So this the same thing happened in the green revolution. It depressed the crop prices. Then due to the depressed crop prices, then the farmer formed their rally. Then they asked the government, they need the constant price support for their produce or for their supply in the market. So all these forces combined led to the emergence of multi-party competition in their politics. That how the farmers, they have engaged in the agriculture due to green revolution. Then at last, Das Gupta argues that technology, that's a high yielding variety seeds, can weaken the incumbents and strengthen the outsiders and potentially increase democratization in things. That means how the Green Revolution has engaged or cultivated the farmers to engage in the politics. Really, when you take we are up to this, I think we have started the Green Revolution only encountered with the food security, or we can say due to the 50 million tonners, food grain tonners, now it's around rose to 300 food grain tonners. So these all achieved due to only Green Revolution. Then we can now, due to the social science and types of social science concepts, by applying social science concepts only, we can know that how the Green Revolution has envisaged the farmers to enhance their political related matters, and how they have to take part in their in terms of politics. So then I have to share with you how the opportunities when you with the science and the social science students. When you take the science, we can see the DBT, Department of Biotechnology, Department of Science and Technology. Then there are many other platforms. Then CSIR, there are many other platforms serving for only for in terms of science. But in terms of social sciences, there are I forgot to add that here the ICSR, Indian Council of Social Science Research. It is one of the most important organization that rendering the fellowships or rendering projects in terms of social science studies. Here the ICSR, they gave one of the point that the around only 6% of science students are engaged in the social science related research studies. Only 6%. Then so that like that the ICSR. Then in terms of ICAR, there are the agriculture universities, like state agriculture universities. There are different the social science disciplines under the three different things: economics, extension, and the agribusiness management. Then after that, here I can say in humanities and social sciences, now they are in the IITs also with some the score or GMAT score, another thing. You can apply for the you can apply in the IIT. That's the social science, like the in terms of economics, you can apply for the IIT. Then even the IIM also, they are also offering the courses. Then manage, I think you have heard about the manage NAM. Then IIPM, these are courses were offered for especially for social science by these reputed institutions. Then other thing, here I have given two foremost universities. They are rendering the social science studies in terms of in India. I can say the Asoka University and Andani University. I can compare Asoka University with even the Cambridge and the Oxford social science related things, because they are doing the excellent platform in serving social science to the students. After your BSc program, after one degree program, you can join. You can apply for the Asoka University Engineer Fellows program. It's the 1 year multidisciplinary program. Here, it's really one of the interesting thing. You can adverse and you can interact with the different colleges from the different universities, the Cambridge, Oxford, and many other universities. Really, it is one of the that means I can. If any other interested, please check with this Asoka University web portal. Then another same thing, 1 year multidisciplinary program is offered by another university under the label of Anand Fellowship. It's foremost important dealing with the environment related matters. Then how the architecture can be developed. If you are the BSc Horticulture graduate, sure you can offer for you can apply for the Anand University Anand Fellowship program. Here, this IIT, IIM, and this 1 year multidisciplinary program, they will be offering 2 times in the 1 year. That is the summer and the winter, as the two different things. In 2 different times, they are offering. If anyone interested in the social science related matters or social science related studies, you can please apply for these above said institutions. Then at last, conclusion here, the social science, I can say it's all depends on your interest, because you are your first of UG degree, you encountered with the science. Then after the social science, it is the different thing from the science and the social. However, you have just to touch the basic courses in management or extension or in economics. So based on your interest or based on your thing, you can choose your path and you can go with the your enumerated thing. Then at last, based on your interest or based on your understanding, based on your findings, please go with your chasing your dream, and at last you find your thing. What the thing you have, it's the important one for you. Like that, you chase your dream. So thank you for all, and thank you for this opportunity. All the best. Thank you.
Sharad, thank you, Sharad. So students, if you have any questions, please ask. Or please post. Sharad, from my side, so what is the difference between studying a PG program that in agribusiness management in State Agriculture University or these schools?
Sir, in terms of business schools, sir, in terms of agribusiness management, particularly in terms of our university, they will be going with the ICAR framed syllabus. But in terms of when you take in the manage or norm, even in the IIM, there are the Ahmedabad and in the Calcutta, they are two only offering the agribusiness management. But when you take, there's some of the difference in terms of managed studies. It's foremost they will be going with the case study related matters, then engaging with the industry partners like these things. But in terms of state agriculture universities, they will be foremost engaging in your terms of research that by choosing particular research topic, then you will be going with the particular thing that only. But in terms of business schools, you will be encountering with the different industry platforms, then you will be different industry partners, then you can when comparing with the agribusiness management in terms of social science and in state universities and many in business schools, I can vote as a business school as the interesting one, and it's a learning is more comparing with the state university.
Okay. And can you share some idea about entrepreneurship in agro-tourism?
Sir, thank you, sir. I'm doing it. I'm researching in terms of agri-tourism. The agri-tourism, it is just linking the agriculture with the tourism. This is the thing. The agri-tourism is the famous one in Maharashtra. The farmers, they have formed the cooperative society, and they have from 2014 under the cooperative society, they are functioning. Agri-tourism is functioning in the Maharashtra. Almost from 2017 to 19, they have generated around 60 crores from the as an income from the agri-tourism. It's just like the engaging the urban tourist in your farm, along with the farming activities, or in terms of like plucking fruits from the tree, like that, engaging in the farm field oriented things. So by that, the farmers can get some part of income due to their staying of urban tourist stay, also like these things. So here, based on that thing, I'm analyzing the customer preferences for the agri-tourism in terms of Tamil Nadu, especially in Coimbatore and in the Pollachi, because in Pollachi only there are some of the farm resorts there. Almost we can't say they are as the agri-tourism. However, they are doing some of the concepts under the agri-tourism. So almost I'm in the finalizing part. Soon I will be going to evaluate those functional parameters.
Okay. Students, you can ask the questions.
Sarath, kindly the slide exit பண்ணிருங்க.
Sir, okay.
Students, kindly post your doubts. Students, kindly post your doubts in chat box.
There is one question from Sandhya, student of 2019 batch. She's asking about agri-tourism. What are the difficulties of agri-tourism in Tamil Nadu, sir?
Sir, because in agri-tourism, even the government has started formally any other related matters related to agri-tourism. while encountering with the tourist related agritourism, most of them are interested in the agritourism, developing agritourism in Tamil Nadu due to climatical factors, due to agriculture related things. Then, however, here the foremost major and challenge is first the government has to support this tourism related policies. The government has to frame policy, especially for agritourism, especially for the farm tourists. Then followed by there is no that means initially the government has to go with the pilot project in terms of starting agritourism in the state horticulture department farms, or like that the government has to start the agritourism in these things. So the first thing I can say, the challenge is the government has to support, because there is no proper policy in terms of government side. Then other than that, the farmers, they have to aware about the secondary related agriculture activities like agritourism or any other things. So these are, I think, foremost two important challenges in terms of agritourism developing in Tamil Nadu.
Morning, Sharath.
Good morning, ma'am.
So I beg to differ on your take on agritourism. So my point is, as far as when entrepreneurship comes, I don't look towards the government to give me anything. It's only our own initiative and the collective initiative of the people which will get entrepreneurship going. So to expect the government to give us ideas, or to the government farms to start tourism, will never work. So to the student who asked the question, yes, agritourism will be the next big thing which we have to think about. You can have brainstorming sessions in college. Definitely, we'll get entrepreneurs for that. So the scope is varied, because it's just like a resort. You can think of any resort near Coimbatore or a Kerala resort. So it'll be kind of a Ayush, so health, mental health, physical health, and touching base with nature. All those concepts have to come into your agritourism. So if you are going to be somebody in Pollachi belt, so what will be your customer do from the daytime to the nighttime? So that's how you need to plan out. Investment may not be high, actually, because I've been seriously thinking of this for the last 5 years and I never got around to it. But definitely, Sandhya, we can talk about this when we get into campus. So Kalidas, please note down. I want to meet Sandhya when I'm there.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, sir. But that's a big scope. And Sharath, sorry, I beg to differ. This is not the government's job. This is our job.
If you don't mind, can I differ?
You can. Sorry.
Ma'am, can I differ?
Yeah, you can definitely. It's a healthy
first
forum. You
thing,
need to differ to get more ideas.
As a social scientist, we have to do. You have told that there is no need for the government related support or these things. Here, I want to say that I went to meet agritourism. That means the farm resort in the Ooty. They are doing the agritourism related matters, all these things, like the engaging the tourist in terms of farms, like the plucking fruits from the trees, or in terms of carrot plucking, all these things related matters. Whenever the farm resort owner has told that, in terms of outside oil advertisement, I can say that it is one of the resort, only as the resort, not as the farm resort. If peculiar one, if I want to advertisement, I want to advertise it as the farm resort or in terms of farm related things, I have to get as the proper license from the government of Tamil Nadu. When I approached, he only told that it's not my own point, it's from his side only. Then he told that
I agree. The homestay category of tourism is still not very well defined in the government laws.
Yes, ma'am. Then other than that, he told that I approached the government of Tamil Nadu. Then they told that there is no agritourism concept prevailing in entire Tamil Nadu. So you can go with like பத்தோட 11 அப்படின்னு நீங்க ரெசார்ட்டா தான் வந்து நீங்க வெச்சுக்கணும். You can't go.
So அதுதான் சொல்றேன். Today your laws are not very favorable because they haven't formulated any laws for agritourism. But you can always choose the route of homestay or like Beulah Farm does in Kunnur. They've got a beautiful system of how you engage your and there's cheese making in near Avalanche, Red Hills, I think. They've been doing it for many years. So there are a lot of scopes. Yes, we don't have a separate law or separate guidance for this, but still there are a lot of people successfully doing it. So
yes,
for us to wait for a law to start a concept will never work. So you start a concept and push the government to formulate a law will be my answer to agritourism.
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Students, any questions, please ask. Please.
Sarath, can you share some experience in writing articles in daily? Because you're writing a few articles in the daily newspaper. Can you share some experience?
Yes, sir. Thank you. In terms of you are writing the two newspapers, it's not like a research article. It's somewhat very with it's like a popular articles. For example, I will be sending one of the recent article I have written to the Hindu Tamil. It's the comparison between the natural farming and the inorganic farming. When you talk about the natural inorganic farming, this is one of the vast thing. That means there is still debate is going even in Tamil Nadu Agriculture University in any other thing. So while you are encountering it as the article, then you have to go with it. First of all, you have to discuss what is the organic farming, or what is the natural farming, or what's the inorganic farming, how it's affecting the soil, or how it will be useful for the farmers, or how it will be led the production process. Like that, you have to discuss all these things, all related matters. Then at last you have to come with your own conclusion, whether you will be supporting organic farming or whether you will be supporting the inorganic farming, whether you will be supporting both type of farming. Then at last you have to go with you have to give the explanation why I'm supporting this type of farming. So like that, it's like you have to cover the audience based on your view. Other than that, you have to give that the platform to the people also to discuss these related things. That means the readers, they have to argue whether it will be no, I object in this. Like that, you have to go with it. So you have to, while writing the article, you choose these all related things. Then that means debating things are supported, and all these related matters, you have to collect those related. But there will be a proof. Enough proof is needed for the supplemented for while writing articles to the daily newspapers. Without proof, you can't you can't say all like fake related. You have to give exact related. That means original related things while supplying an article to newspapers.
Thank you, Sarath. Thank you, sir.
Sarath,
sir,
the main concept in studying the ABM is the financial management and planning, marketing, yes, selling, production of and operation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In that case, what is your suggestion for making our produce to at a very good marketing aspects? Any product, maybe maybe for example, you have discussed about the organic produce and inorganic produce. So how to make that marketing effective?
Sir, for marketing,
so what is the Lakana at present is based on your secondary data would have collected for your PhD program. So what is the Lakana you are finding it in the marketing aspects? How to overcome this?
Sir, in terms of marketing related thing, first thing I can see the post-harvest losses. Due to that, around 40% of produce is wasting. Other than that, there is no that means a proper storage godowns or storage facilities. For that, we have to go with the PP. That means public-private partnership. That is the foremost thing for developing our the marketing related matters at this scenario. By engaging the government organizations only in the marketing related thing, we can't supply or we can't identify enough mechanisms. When you go with the public-private partner relationship, like that, I can quote some examples like Big Basket or like the vehicle. They are procuring directly from the farmers. Then they are supplying as they can to need customers. So like that, for this effective marketing channel, I can go with the public-private partnership. By this only, there is the enough technology in private side. There is the enough technology, it will be available. So engaging that technology with the government-oriented related things, we can supply that marketing will be easy and it will be fine one for the farmers. Other than that, the farmers has to establish some of the cold storage facilities related things in terms of establishing their marketing for those some of the commodities. So here again, I can vote as the public-private partnership. It is the thing for the developing marketing.
So what is that improvement you can suggest for the farmers producers company? Because that is also working in line with this only. So how best we can improve that one?
Sir, first of all, I want to answer that as a son of the farmer. The thing I want to say, there is no communication. That means enough communication between the farmers thing. It's a going. Because even one farmer is a web-based or success in terms of technology, he can't the technology to other farmers. So like that, it's one of the, there is the communication lack now, it's going in the FPO. Other than that, in terms of successful FPO, government initially has to focus. Yeah, they has to select the particular FPOs in terms of functioning and choosing the commodities. For example, I can say in terms of a colony, in terms of our district, the road, they are functioning, they are concentrating in terms of export related things like the banana export, other than things. But the FPO, they have told that the government is also asking some part of the that means GST or related things like the like commercial organization, they are also taxing or imposing taxes for the same thing for us. So the FPOs are telling that we need some of the independent things because we are in developing platform, we are in initial thing, so we can't sustain with those related that means big companies. So first of all, we need this type of circumstances to go with the market related things. Then other than that, they are asking for the government support in terms of levying the taxes in terms of their processing related things. So by using those related things, the other than that, they can FEOs, they can supply the market in the like in terms of online retails like the Amazon or the Flipkart, they can also supply with those related things. By that also we can at least we can develop as the FPO products to reach consumers.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, shall we conclude, sir?
Yes, sir.
On behalf of Vanavara Institute of Agriculture and team, I thank Mr. Sharath for giving your time to give a very, very brief note about the scope and opportunities of humanities and social sciences in terms of agri graduates for their higher education. So thank you, Sharath. Still, I remember the first day at our college, you are talking about Varna Bhagavan. So still we remember. See, I think no one forgot that. Thank you, Sharath, for spending time with us. I hope our students will get in touch with you for their career advancement. Thank you, Sharath.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this wonderful
opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
May I now request Dr. Ravi Kumar to introduce the next speaker of the session.
Good morning once again. So today the 3 sessions are completed in a very successful manner. The informations provided by these speakers are very useful to students. Then in the 4th session, that is last session of today, I like to introduce the guest speaker, Ms. Karthika, of 2nd PG scholar of landscape and horticulture in Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. So I welcome Ms. T. Karthika of 2nd PhD scholar and also alumni of VIA to provide this lecture and also motivate the students to prepare the studies in future. Ms. Karthika had completed undergraduate degree program in Vanavara Institute of Agriculture from 2015 to 2019 and joined a postgraduate study program in Tamil Nadu Agriculture University in landscape horticulture, and also she is very passionate in studying the work, and currently he also working molecular work in horticulture, that is floriculture. So I came to know that this is the first student doing molecular work in landscaping. So with this few introduction, I request Karthika to deliver this very wonderful speech to our students.
Thank you so much, sir. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, respected correspondent ma'am, director sir, and my dear coordinator sir and economics sir, and good morning to my dear juniors.
Karthika, just a minute. There is some sharing problem.
Oh, sorry.
Now it's okay. Karthika, continue, please.
Sir, from the floor. First.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Karthika, the slide is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I can. So first slide, sir.
Okay, Karthika, you continue.
First slide.
Can you start with the first slide?
Ravi?
This is the first slide, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, sir. So good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to extend my gratefulness to Dr. Kalidas sir and Dr. Ravi Kumar sir for inviting me to present few things about horticulture studies in TNAU and agricultural universities. Hey all dear juniors, I'm Karthika Tirumugam, PG scholar from TNAU. I belong to floriculture and landscape architecture, which is a branch of horticulture. So today I'm going to share few things that I know about the scope of horticulture studies in TNAU and other state agricultural universities. So before going into the topic, final year வந்துட்டோம், யூஜி முடிக்க போறோம். எங்க போனாலும் யாரை நம்மளை பார்த்து கேட்கிற first question, what next? Sir, second slide, sir. Sir.
Ravi?
Yeah.
Karthika, slide move ஆயிடுச்சுங்களா?
இல்ல
Ravi, இல்ல move ஆகல Ravi.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you so much. So what next after UG? So these are the major opportunities we have as an agricultural graduate after completing UG. One is the higher education, which is the thing I'm going to talk about. And second one is management studies and the junior research fellow post, in which you will get around 15 to 20,000 per month, depending on the scheme and the department in which you're working with, and competitive exams, jobs in private sector, farming and entrepreneurship. Farming, it actually goes hand in hand with entrepreneurship, but I'd like to emphasize it individually. So next slide, please. So before deciding what next, the thing is you have to choose the right career path. For that, self-evaluation is the most important thing. 4 years நீங்க agree படிச்சிருக்கீங்க. In the 4 years, you will you would have learned like more than 30 plus diverse fieldsல நீங்க வந்து கோர்சஸ் பண்ணிருப்பீங்க. ஸோ இதுல எந்த ஒரு கோர்ஸ் வந்துட்டு உங்களுக்கு அந்த பீரியட் வந்தாலே ஒரு சின்ன ஹாப்பினஸ், அந்த கோர்ஸ் வந்தாலே மித்ததை விட அது ரொம்ப பிடிச்சு போயிருக்கும், அது மேல ஒரு தனி இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருக்கும். அந்த மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு எந்த கோர்ஸ் உங்களை அப்படி அட்ராக்ட் பண்ணுச்சுன்னு பாருங்க. உங்களோட ஏரியா ஆஃப் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் என்ன அப்படின்னு கண்டுபிடிங்க. ஆப்வியஸ்லி நீங்க ஏபிஎம் கோர்ஸ்ல ஸ்வாட் அனாலிசிஸ் படிச்சிருப்பீங்க. ஸோ கண்டிப்பா நீங்க அதை பண்ணணும், பிகாஸ் செல்ஃப் எவாலுவேஷன் இஸ் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் so that you can find your strength and opportunity. So next slide, please. And horticulture, the எப்பவுமே சொல்ற அந்த definition, horticulture, it deals with the cultivation, processing and marketing of fruits, vegetables, flowers, spices plantation and medicinal aromatic plants. So these are the 4 departments that comes under horticulture. Olericulture is nothing but the vegetable science, fruit science, floriculture and landscape architecture, then spices plantation and medicinal aromatic plants. So next slide, please. So there are various horticultural colleges and universities in India. So these are the few top horticulture colleges and universities which I'd like to list out to you. First one is the IAHR Bangalore and IARI New Delhi, Dr. YSR Horticulture University, Tamil Nadu University, University of Horticulture Sciences Bagalkot, Banaras Hindu University, Pandilkhan University, Annamalai University, and Punjab University is also a good university. So these are the options you have to keep first in mind if you are choosing horticulture as a postgraduate or the PhD course. And scopes in horticulture PG and PhD. Scopes வந்துட்டு நான் அப்படியே எல்லா ஒரு ஃபீல்ட்லயும் என்னென்ன ஸ்கோப்ஸ் இருக்குன்றத சொல்லிடுறேன் ஃபர்ஸ்ட். அண்ட் தென் வீல் டாக் அபவுட் வாட் இஸ் த ப்ரொசீஜர் ஃபார் தி என்ட்ரன்ஸ் எக்ஸாம்ஸ், என்னென்ன படிக்கணும் அது எல்லாமே நான் சொல்லிடுறேன். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் PG and PhD முடிச்சிங்கன்னாவே the first unique selling point, the most popular is ரீசெண்டா assistant director of horticulture. So இது வந்து நீங்க PG முடிச்சிருந்தீங்கன்னா you can directly write this exam and you can enter into the Tamil Nadu agricultural service. And இப்போ horticulture service, agricultureல வந்து ADA வந்துட்டு only promotionsல மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும். But ADH is one thing. இப்போ ரீசெண்டா நிறைய ஃப்ரெஷ் கேண்டிடேட்ஸ் வந்து ADH வந்து போயிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அண்ட் அக்ரிகல்ச்சரல் ரிசர்ச் சயின்டிஸ்ட், you can become an ARS. And education, you can become assistant professor அந்த கேடர் போலாம். And research எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா you can become a senior research fellow after completing your PG. So you'll get paid around 30K to 35K to maximum 40, depending on the scheme and the department. And postdoctoral fellow, that is after completing your PhD, you will be getting around 40K to 45K for postdoctoral fellow. And you can also become an independent researcher. Independent researcher வந்து அதிகமா யாருக்கும் தெரியறது இல்ல. There are schemes that central government and state government are releasing. Research schemes நிறைய வருது. நீங்க PG and PhD முடிச்சிருந்தா நீங்க வாலண்டியரா போய் அந்த ஸ்கீம்ஸை நான் ஒர்க் பண்றேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி இண்டிபெண்டா ரிசர்ச்சரா ஒர்க் பண்ணலாம். ஆல்சோ உங்களுக்கு கிரியேட்டிவா நிறைய ஐடியாஸ் இருந்துச்சுன்னா நீங்களே ப்ரொபோசல் அனுப்பலாம். தி சென்ட்ரல் அண்ட் ஸ்டேட் யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ்க்கு ப்ரொபோசல் சென்ட் பண்ணி யூ கேன் பிகம் அன் இண்டிபெண்டன்ட் ரிசர்ச்சர். அண்ட் PG and PD of in abroad. So next slide please. So scopes in olericulture. Vegetable science complete பண்ண PG and PhD இவங்களுக்கு என்னென்ன ஸ்கோப்ஸ் இருக்கு apart from all these scientist and research and education cadres? வேற என்னென்ன ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இருக்குன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா the supervisors in farms, estates or marketing or
எதுக்கு எடுத்தாலும் என்ன கவனிச்சு.
Sir, may I
proceed
பண்ணுங்க.
Okay sir, okay, thank you. And second one is vegetable breeders, especially seed companies la நிறைய vacancies இருக்கு for vegetable breeders and vegetable gardeners, the urban gardening which is booming up right now, and hydroponics இப்ப நிறைய பாப்புலர் ஆயிட்டு இருக்கு. And consultant and farm advisor ஆகலாம். value addition units நிறைய jobs இருக்கு. and greenhouse production manager ஆகலாம். and the best thing, entrepreneurship. And scopes in fruit science, இது ஆல்மோஸ்ட் சிமிலரா தான் வரும். பிகாஸ் ஃப்ரூட் சயின்ஸ் அண்ட் வெஜிடபிள் சயின்ஸ் எல்லா ரெண்டுலயுமே வந்துட்டு ஈக்குவலான ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இருக்கு, சேம் கேடர்ல இருக்கு. ஃப்ரூட் சயின்ஸ்ல வந்துட்டு ஆர்ச்சர்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் நர்சரிஸ்ல இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் வந்து இருக்கும். அண்ட் சூப்பர்வைசர்ஸா ஒர்க் பண்ணலாம். குவாலிட்டி கண்ட்ரோல் அண்ட் எக்ஸ்போர்ட் யூனிட்ஸ், கன்சல்டன்சி வைக்கலாம். அண்ட் கிரீன் ஹவுஸ் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் மேனேஜரா ஒர்க் பண்ணலாம். entrepreneur and hydroponics. These are the scopes in fruit science. And scopes in spices, plantation, medicinal aromatic crops. So இதுலயும் fruit science and vegetable science ல பார்த்த எல்லா ஸ்கோப்ஸும் இதுலயும் வரும். And one more thing, plantation processing units, especially tea and coffee ல quality control segmentல வந்து நிறைய jobs for these PG and PhD in spices and plantation. And mainly after this pandemic, COVID pandemic அப்புறம் ஆயுர்வேதா and சித்தா are boosting up. ரொம்ப வேகமா ஆயுர்வேதா and சித்தா இண்டஸ்ட்ரி வந்து வளருது. அண்ட் அதுக்கு ரா மெட்டீரியல்ஸ் வந்துட்டு ரா மெட்டீரியல் யூனிட்ஸ்ல மெயினா there are hiring a lot of the PG and PhD professionals of spices and plantation department. And essential oils and oleo resin extraction units la you have varied job opportunities. And நிறைய வேல்யூ ஆடட் ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் வந்து இதுல இருக்கு. அண்ட் entrepreneurship is the best thing. And scopes in floriculture and landscape architecture. Among these four branches of horticulture, floriculture and landscape architecture la ஒரு படி மேல இன்னும் opportunities wide இருக்கு. First thing is flower breeder, the seed companies and ornamental nurseries la you'll have many jobs. And florist aglam, fresh flower arrangements and decorator aglam. And dry flower industry, Ramesh Plas from Thuthukudi, அவங்க தான் வந்துட்டு இந்தியாலேயே the second leading exporter of dry flower value added products. So dry flower industry is a very big industry, அது நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியறது இல்ல, and it is booming actually. And quality control in essential oil or natural dye and perfume industries, export industries, especially the cut flowers, fresh cut flowers, and consultant work பண்ணலாம். ஹொசூர் ரீஜன்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் பிஜி அண்ட் பிஹெச்டி முடிச்ச நிறைய பேரு ஃப்ரெஷ் ஃபிளவர் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் வந்து ஹொசூர்ல வந்து ஹொசூர் அண்ட் கிருஷ்ணகிரி சைட்ல ரொம்ப அதிகமா இருக்கு, as well as பெங்களூர். அங்கெல்லாம் வந்துட்டு கன்சல்டன்ட்ஸ்க்கு நிறைய டிமாண்ட் வந்து இருக்கு. ஏன்னா ப்ரொடக்ஷன் பண்ற ஃபார்மர்ஸ் எல்லாருமே வந்துட்டு இந்த ஃப்ரெஷ் ஃபிளவர்ஸ் எல்லாமே எக்ஸாட்டிக் ஃபிளவர்ஸ் அதிகமா, ஸோ தே நீட் கன்சல்டன்ட்ஸ். ஸோ அந்த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி அதிகமா இருக்கு. அண்ட் நர்சரி மேனேஜர் ஆகலாம். You all know Asia's one of the largest nursery, Rajmundri nursery. அங்க நிறைய opportunities இருக்கு, especially for floriculture and landscape architecture graduates. And landscape designer and architect ஆகலாம், that has a huge hope. And garden maintenance service, இப்போ ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ஸ் யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ் எல்லாம் எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா டிசைனிங் பண்ணி கொடுத்துட்டு போயிடுவாங்க. அண்ட் ஆஃப்டர் தட் மெயின்டெனன்ஸ் பண்றதுக்குன்னே தனியா அவங்க ஹையர் பண்ணிக்குவாங்க பெரிய பெரிய இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன்ஸ்ல. ஸோ அதுல நிறைய ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் இருக்கு. அண்ட் டர்ஃப் மேனேஜர் இன் கோல்ஃப் கிளப்ஸ் அண்ட் இன் அப்ராட். டர்ஃப் மேனேஜர் போஸ்டிங்ஸ் வந்துட்டு இந்தியாவில கூட கொஞ்சம் கம்மி, பட் சேலரி வைஸ் ரொம்ப அதிகம். அண்ட் அப்ராட்ல அதுக்கு ரொம்பவே ஸ்கோப் அதிகமா இருக்கு. எஸ்பெஷலி த கேமிங் ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ் ஃபீல்ட்ல எல்லாம் வந்துட்டு டர்ஃப்ங்கிறது ரொம்ப முக்கியமான ஒரு விஷயம். ஸோ டர்ஃப் மேனேஜர் ஜாப்ஸ் வந்து இட் ஹேஸ் அ வைட் ஸ்கோப். அண்ட் இண்டோர் கார்டனர் ஆகலாம், ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் தெரபிஸ்ட், த பேக் ஃபிளவர் மெடிசன், ஹீலிங் கார்டன்ஸ் அண்ட் வெர்டிக்கல் கார்டனர் ஆகலாம், அக்வாஸ்கேப் டிசைனர் ஆர் ஆர்கிடெக்ட். அண்ட் புதுசா வந்திருக்கிற டாபிக்ஸ் ரீசெண்ட் பாஸ்ட் டிகேட்ல இட் இஸ் கெட்டிங் லைக் ரொம்ப அதிகமாகுது. இன்னொரு நியர் ஃபியூச்சர்ல வந்து இதோட டிமாண்ட் வந்து இட் வில் பி ரொம்ப ரொம்ப அதிகமா இருக்கும். தட் இஸ் பயோஃபிலிக் ஆர்கிடெக்சர் அண்ட் அர்பன் பிளானிங் அண்ட் டிசைனிங். சிட்டி பிளானிங்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, என்வாயர்மெண்ட் சஸ்டைனபிள் சிட்டி பிளானிங். ஸோ இந்த ரெண்டு டாபிக்கும் வந்துட்டு இப்போ வந்து சிங்கப்பூர்ல அண்ட் தாய்லாந்து நிறைய பெரிய பெரிய கண்ட்ரீஸ்ல எல்லாம் வந்துட்டு இந்த அர்பன் பிளானிங் அண்ட் சிட்டி பிளானிங் வந்துட்டு ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு ஃபீல்டா இருக்கு, நிறைய இப்ப பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. ஸோ இன்னொரு 10 to 15 years, 15 years கூட எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ண தேவையில்லை, வித்தின் 10 years இதே அந்த அர்பன் பிளானிங் அண்ட் சிட்டி பிளானிங் வந்துட்டு இந்தியால பல மடங்கு அதுக்கு ஸ்கோப் அதிகமாகும். ஸோ அந்த டைம்ல தே நீட் ப்ரொஃபஷனல்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் இந்தியா ஹூ ஆர் எக்ஸ்பர்ட் இன் திஸ் அர்பன் பிளானிங் அண்ட் சிட்டி பிளானிங். ஸோ அந்த டைம்ல வந்து நம்ம ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனலா இருந்தோம் அப்படின்னா இட் வில் பி ஆஃப் கிரேட் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி. அண்ட் இப்பவே நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா தெரியும், ஸ்மார்ட் சிட்டி ப்ரோக்ராம்னு சொல்லி நிறைய பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. தே ஆர் இன்க்ளூடிங் பிளான்ஸ், அதாவது சிட்டிக்குள்ள பிளான்ஸ் கொண்டு வரணும், என்வாயன்மெண்டல் சஸ்டைனபிள் டிசைன் வந்து கிரியேட் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கறது எல்லாமே இப்போ இந்த பயோஃபிலிக் ஆர்கிடெக்சர் அண்ட் அர்பன் பிளானிங்ல ரொம்பவே இம்பார்ட்டன்டான ஒரு டாபிக்ஸா இருக்கு. அண்ட் சிங்கப்பூர் இதுதான் வந்து இட் இஸ் த pioneer ஃபார் சிட்டி இன் அ கார்டன். Huge and national parks of Singapore are working to make Singapore as a city in a garden. City kulla garden illa, or garden kulla city irukra madri they are planning, and they are going as a huge success. Sir, next slide please. So this is the gardens of the Bay of Singapore. Trees வந்து நான் சொன்னேன்ல பயோஃபிலிக் ஆர்கிடெக்சர், ட்ரீஸ் அதிகமா சிட்டிக்குள்ள கொண்டு வர முடியாததுனால they have made these artificial trees, சூப்பர் ட்ரீஸ்ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ இந்த ட்ரீஸ்ல வந்து ஃபுல்லாவே ஆர்டிஃபிஷியலா செஞ்சது, பட் பிளான்ஸ் வந்து இந்த ட்ரீ ஃபுல்லா இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி தான் பயோஃபிலிக் ஆர்கிடெக்சர் இன் ஃபியூச்சர் இட் இஸ் கோயிங் டு கெட் பூம்ட். And this is the most important international airport of Singapore, Jewel Changi Airport. நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னாவே தெரியும் இது ஏர்போர்ட்டா இல்ல ஒரு காடா அப்படின்னு தெரியாது, பிகாஸ் பயோஃபிலிக் ஆர்கிடெக்சர் சிங்கப்பூர்ல எங்க திரும்பினாலும் உங்களுக்கு பிளான்ஸ் தான் தெரியும். அந்த மாதிரி they are in love with பயோஃபிலிக் ஆர்கிடெக்சர். அது சீக்கிரமே இன்னும் நிறைய கண்ட்ரீஸ்ல வந்து ஏர்போர்ட்ல தான் வந்துட்டு வேர்ல்ட்ஸ் லார்ஜஸ்ட் இண்டோர் வாட்டர் ஃபால் இருக்கு. திஸ் இஸ் த ஒன். ஸோ இப்போ நீங்க வந்துட்டு கிராப் பிசியாலஜில கொஞ்சம் உங்களுக்கு நாலேஜ் இருக்கு, கிராப் பிசியாலஜி பத்தி எனக்கு நல்லா தெரியும் அப்படின்னா, இந்த ஃபீல்ட்ல உங்களுக்கு டிசைனிங் வரலனாலும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை. இந்த மாதிரி பயோபிலிக் ஆர்கிடெக்சர் அண்ட் இண்டோர் கார்டனிங்ல கிராப் பிசியாலஜி தெரிஞ்ச ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு அவ்வளோ ஸ்கோப் இருக்கு. பிகாஸ் ஒரு பிளான்ட்டை இண்டோர்ல வச்சா எவ்வளோ லைட் தேவைப்படும், எவ்வளோ தண்ணி கொடுக்கணும், எந்த பிளான்ட்டை எங்க வைக்கணும், இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சிருந்தாவே யூ வில் ஏர்ன் அண்ட் மில்லியன்ஸ். இந்த மாதிரி சிங்கப்பூர் இந்த மாதிரி அப்ராட் போயிட்டீங்கன்னா யூ வில் ஏர்ன் அண்ட் மில்லியன்ஸ். அண்ட் இங்கேயும் சீக்கிரமே இந்த இண்டஸ்ட்ரி வந்து பூம் ஆக போகுது. ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட் ப்ளீஸ். ஸோ தீஸ் ஆர் தி ஸ்கோப். அண்ட் கம்மிங் டு தி பிஜி என்ட்ரன்ஸ். யூஜி முடிச்சோடனே இப்ப பிஜி எடுக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா என்ன படிக்கலாம்? The important books to refer. So these are the important books to refer in case you are writing ICAR horticulture exam. படிச்சிட்டீங்க, if you are thorough book, you will crack ICAR examination for sure. Because இந்த books எல்லாம் யார் ரெஃபர் பண்றாங்கன்னா, ஆந்திர பிரதேஷ் அண்ட் கர்நாடகால இருந்து அதிகமா ஐசிஆர் கிராக் பண்ற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இந்த புக்ஸ் மட்டும்தான் ரெஃபர் பண்றாங்க. எஸ்பெஷலி டாக்டர் என் குமார்ஸ் ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் புக்ஸ் வந்து கண்டிப்பா நீங்க ரெஃபர் பண்ணணும் இஃப் யூ ஆர் பிளானிங் டு டூ பிஜி இன் ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர். அண்ட் நீங்க ஐசிஆர் ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் எடுக்கும் போது யூ வில் ஹாவ் டு லேர்ன் ஆல் தி 4. இப்ப நீங்க ஃப்ளாரிகல்ச்சர் தான் எடுக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னா நீங்க வெஜிடபிள் சயின்ஸும் படிக்கணும், ஃப்ரூட் சயின்ஸும் படிக்கணும், ஸ்பைசஸ் அண்ட் பிளான்டேஷனும் படிக்கணும், ஃப்ளாரிகல்ச்சரும் படிக்கணும். பிகாஸ் ஐசிஆர் வந்து ஃபுல்லா அந்த 4மே படிச்சிருந்து தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா மட்டும்தான் உங்களால கிராக் பண்ண முடியும். அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் நீங்க அதுல என்ன பிரான்ச் எடுக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறது போகும். பட் TNAU என்ட்ரன்ஸ்ல அப்படி கிடையாது. இஃப் யூ ஆர் பிளானிங் டு சூஸ் வெஜிடபிள் சயின்ஸ் மட்டும் தான் நீங்க கோரா படிக்கணும். நீங்க வேற எந்த சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸும் அதிக எம்பசிஸ் கொடுத்து படிக்கணும்னு தேவையில்லை. ஸோ அதுதான் ஐசிஆர் அண்ட் TNAU பிஜிக்கு இருக்கிற அந்த என்ட்ரன்ஸ் எக்ஸாம்ல இருக்க ஒரு டிஃபரன்ஸ். So next slide, please. How to enter into ICAR horticulture. So ICAR, they provide masters and PhD in all the 4 disciplines of horticulture. And they allocate students only through ICAR exams, the JRF exams. Munadi seniors sollirukanga, you will get around 12.6K per month as a stipend plus 6K வந்து additional. ஏதாவது நீங்க ரிசர்ச்க்கு பை பண்றீங்க இல்ல புக்ஸ் வாங்குறீங்க அப்படின்னா கண்டின்ஜென்சி காஸ்ட்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ இது வந்து உங்களுக்கு மந்த்லி கிடைக்கக்கூடிய JRF ஸ்டைபண்ட். அண்ட் the question paper pattern will be like 40% of the questions will come from vegetable science, 30% from fruit science, 12% from floriculture and landscape architecture, 8% from spices, plantation and medicinal aromatic plants, 7% from general agriculture, and 3% from aptitude. Here and there 1 or 2 questions தான் aptitudeல இருக்கும். மித்தபடி you'll get this set of question paper. இதுதான் பேட்டர்ன். ஸோ நீங்க ஃப்ளாரிகல்ச்சர் எடுக்கணும் இல்ல ஸ்பைசஸ் எடுக்கணும்னு நினைச்சாலும் ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் அண்ட் வெஜிடபிள்ஸ் ரொம்பவே எம்பசிஸ் கொடுத்து படிச்சே ஆகணும் இஃப் யூ ஆர் பிளானிங் டு கிராக் ஐசிஆர். அண்ட் ஐசிஆர் எக்ஸாமினேஷன்ல மெயினா அதை கிளியர் பண்றதுக்கு தீஸ் ஆர் த most important things you will have to do: senior guidance and the right discussion partner. நீங்க இண்டிவிஜுவலா படிக்கிற மாதிரி இருந்தாலும் உங்க ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் கூட சேர்ந்து படிச்சா இன்னுமே you'll get an idea. ஸோ சீனியர் கைடன்ஸ் ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். ஒரு டிஸ்கஷன் பார்ட்னர் வந்து ஒரு ரைட் பார்ட்னர் நீங்க வச்சுக்கோங்க. அண்ட் டைம் ஸ்கெடியூல் கரெக்டா டைம் அலோகேட் பண்ணி படிக்கணும். டெடிகேஷன், ஹார்ட் ஒர்க் எல்லாமே முக்கியம் தான். பட் த மோஸ்ட் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் திங் இஸ் ஸ்மார்ட் ஒர்க். இப்போ நான் ஐசிஆருக்கு இன்னும் படிக்கவே ஆரம்பிக்கல, பட் நான் எப்படி ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றது அப்படின்னா, go straight away into the previous question papers. எடுங்க. ஒரு 10 to 12 years previous question papers எடுத்துட்டு try to solve it. உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் எது தெரியுது எது தெரியல, இப்போதைக்கு நீங்க படிச்சிருக்கிறது எந்த அளவுக்கு இருக்கு, இன்னும் எவ்வளவு ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணணும், எந்த செக்மெண்ட்ல இருந்து அதிகமா கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வருது, இது எல்லாமே உங்களுக்கு கண்டிப்பா தெரியும். So start with answering the previous year question papers without learning. So you will get an idea. ஓகே அண்ட் டெய்லி அட்லீஸ்ட் 200 to 300 கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வந்து நீங்க சால்வ் பண்ண வேண்டியிருக்கும். அண்ட் லாஸ்ட் 2 இயர்ஸா பாத்தீங்கன்னா டிஃப்ரெண்ட் டைப் ஆஃப் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் கேட்கறாங்க. அதாவது டைரக்ட் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் மாதிரி இல்லாம ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் டைப் ஆஃப் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் லைக் அசர்ஷன் அண்ட் ரீசன் அந்த மாதிரி கொஸ்டின்ஸ் நிறைய வருது. ஸோ அதுக்கு கண்டிப்பா இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் கொடுத்து படிங்க. அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் திங், நீங்க புரிஞ்சு படிச்சா மட்டும்தான் இந்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வந்து கிராக் பண்ண முடியும். அண்ட் ஆல்சோ நிறைய சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் நமக்கு யூடியூப்லயே இருக்கு. யூடியூப்ல வந்து நார்த் இந்தியன்ஸ் அண்ட் அதர் ஆந்திர பிரதேஷ் அண்ட் கர்நாடகா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து நிறைய பேர் வந்து ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்றதுனால லாட்ஸ் அண்ட் லாட்ஸ் ஆஃப் வீடியோஸ் ஆர் தேர். நிறைய கைடன்ஸ் வந்து நீங்க யூடியூப்ல இருந்தே உங்களுக்கு கிடைக்கும். ஸோ ப்ளீஸ் கோ த்ரூ இட். அண்ட் எல்லாமே படிச்சு முடிச்சுட்டு டெய்லியும் நீங்க கொஸ்டின் பேங்க்ஸ் சால்வ் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாலும் அட்லீஸ்ட் 5 to 8 டைம்ஸ், இது வந்து ஒரு ஆந்திர பிரதேஷ் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் கிராக் பண்ணி டிஎன்ஏக்கு வந்தவங்க சொன்ன ஒரு பாயிண்ட், மினிமம் 5 to 8 டைம்ஸ் நீங்க என்ன படிச்சீங்களோ அதை ரிவைஸ் பண்ணுங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. இது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் திங் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ ஐவ் இன்க்ளூடட் தட். அண்ட் ஹவு டு என்டர் இன்டு TNAU SPGS ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர். இங்கேயும் மாஸ்டர்ஸ் அண்ட் PhD they are providing in all the 4 disciplines. And through ICAR examination 25% of seats வந்து ICAR ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு கொடுக்குறாங்க. அந்த 25% ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு மட்டும்தான் ஸ்டைபண்ட் வரும். மீதி 75% வந்து TNAU என்ட்ரன்ஸ் டெஸ்ட் மூலியமா தான் உள்ள போவோம். அவங்களுக்கு ஸ்டைபண்ட் எதுவும் வராது. பட் கம்யூனிட்டி பேஸ்ட் அண்ட் யூஜியோட OGPA வச்சு சில உங்களுக்கு ஸ்காலர்ஷிப்ஸ் வந்து இருக்கும். And what is the pattern is 100 MCQ questions. அதுல 80 questions core subject. இப்ப floriculture எடுக்கிறீங்கன்னா floriculture மட்டும் படிச்சாலே போதும். வெஜிடபிள்னா வெஜிடபிள் சயின்ஸ் மட்டும் படிச்சாலே போதும். அண்ட் 10 வந்து ஜெனரல் அக்ரி, அதாவது ஜெனரல் ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் அப்படி வரும். ஜெனரல் ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் அண்ட் GK அக்ரி கொஸ்டின்ஸும் சிலது வரும். அண்ட் 10 questions will be from quantitative aptitude. So this is the pattern for TNAU entrance exam. And horticulture studies in abroad. ஸோ இப்போ PG PhD இந்தியால நான் பண்ணல, நான் வந்து அப்ராட்ல போய் பண்றேன் அப்படின்னா அதுக்கும் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி இருக்கு. இல்ல நீங்க PG TNAU வந்துட்டீங்க, இல்ல வேற ஏதாவது யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ் போயிட்டீங்கன்னாலும் யூ கேன் அப்ரோச் ஃபார் PG இன்டர்ன்ஷிப்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் த இன்டர்நேஷனல் செல், ஐதர் ஃப்ரம் TNAU ஆர் ஃப்ரம் எனி அதர் யூனிவர்சிட்டி. எல்லா யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ்லயுமே இன்டர்நேஷனல் செல்னு ஒன்று கண்டிப்பா இருக்கும். ஸோ நீங்க ஜாயின் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர் PG வந்து இங்க கம்ப்ளீட் பண்ற மாதிரியும் ஒரு 3 months to 6 month PG இன்டர்ன்ஷிப்ஸ் வந்து ஒரு யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸும் வந்து MOU மெமராண்டம் ஆஃப் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் சைன் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க, நிறைய ஃபாரின் யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ் கூட. அந்த லிஸ்ட் எடுத்து செக் பண்ணி பாருங்க, எந்த யூனிவர்சிட்டியில உங்களுக்கு என்ன கோர்ஸ் இருக்கு, இல்ல எந்த சயின்டிஸ்ட் உங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப விருப்பமான சயின்டிஸ்டா இருக்காங்கன்றத பாருங்க. பார்த்துட்டு அவங்களுக்கு நீங்க உங்க காலேஜ் இன்டர்நேஷனல் செல் மூலியமா நீங்க மெயில் பண்ணி PG internships வாங்கலாம். It will be very useful. And dual degree programs, actually dual degree program வந்துட்டு நான் UG பண்ணும்போது எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா கண்டிப்பா it will be very useful. பட் ஆனா அது தெரியல. பிகாஸ் dual degree program TNAU ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு மட்டும்தான் மோஸ்ட்லி இருக்கு. என்னன்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் 2 years படிச்சுக்கலாம் TNAUல. 3rd year வந்துட்டு டல்ஹவுசி யூனிவர்சிட்டி கனடா அவங்களோட டைப் வச்சு பிடெக் என்வாயர்மெண்டல் லேண்ட்ஸ்கேப் ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் அப்படிங்கிற அந்த டிகிரியோட 3rd and final இயர்ல கனடால போய் 2 years பண்ணலாம். ஸோ 2 years முடிஞ்சு மோஸ்ட்லி 3 years ஆயிடும் உங்களுக்கு. ஸோ 5 yearsல உங்களுக்கு 2 டிகிரி, நீங்க BSc அக்ரியா இருக்கலாம், BSc ஹார்டியா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல பிடெக் ஹார்டிகல்ச்சரா இருக்கலாம். இந்த 3 டிகிரியில எது எடுத்திருந்தாலும் டியூவல் டிகிரி ப்ரோக்ராம்ல 3rd இயர்ல டல்ஹவுசி யூனிவர்சிட்டி போனீங்கன்னா யூ வில் கெட் 2 degrees along with your degree BTech environmental landscape horticulture. இது வந்து இருக்கு. அண்ட் நான் போன உடனே ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கேட்டேன், இது பிரைவேட் காலேஜஸ்க்கு இல்லையா சார், இதை பத்தி எங்களுக்கு தெரியவே இல்லை அப்படின்னு நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சொல்லியிருந்தேன். அப்ப அவங்க இல்லைங்க பிரைவேட் காலேஜஸ்க்கு அதிகமா இல்ல, TNAU ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் தான் மெயினா நாங்க ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணுவோம் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ நம்ம காலேஜ் கரெஸ்பாண்டன்ட் மேம் இவங்க எல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் பேசினாங்கன்னா நம்ம ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கும் இந்த ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி இருக்கிறது தெரிஞ்சா இட் வில் பி வெரி யூஸ்ஃபுல் ஐ கெஸ். அண்ட் PG இன்டர்ன்ஷிப்ஸ் அப்படி கூட நீங்க போகலாம். இல்ல ஸ்ட்ரெயிட் அவே நான் TNAU இந்தியன் யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ் எதுவும் வேண்டாம், நான் ஸ்ட்ரெயிட்டா அப்ராட் போறேன்னா கோ சர்ஃப் தி இன்டர்நெட். இன்டர்நெட்ல சர்ஃப் பண்ணுங்க. நம்மளோட அலுமினி அண்ட் சயின்டிஸ்ட் நிறைய பேர் நிறைய யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ்ல இருக்காங்க. ஸோ அவங்களோட கான்டாக்ட் நம்பர்ஸ் எல்லாம் எடுங்க, அவங்க மெயில் ஐடிஸ்ல எடுங்க. ரைட் அ ப்ரொஃபஷனல் இமெயில் டு தெம். ரொம்ப அவங்கள டார்ச்சர் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்க வேண்டாம், அடிக்கடி வேண்டாம். ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனல் மெயில் அனுப்புங்க, உங்களோட இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் சொல்லுங்க. get into a good rapport. அவங்க வந்து என்னென்ன ஸ்கீம்ஸ் வந்தாலோ இல்ல எந்த மாதிரி ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி வந்தாலோ கண்டிப்பா உங்களுக்கு இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுவாங்க. TNAU alumni and மாணவராயர் alumni நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க abroad universitiesல. So you can approach them. So this is horticulture studies in abroad, and these are the thing in the PG studies and PhD in horticulture. இவ்வளவு நேரம் நீங்க வெயிட் பண்ணதுக்கு, இவ்வளவு நேரம் கவனிச்சதுக்கு, I'd like to tell a short story and hack to make decision. இந்த ஸ்டோரி எவ்வளவு பேருக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும்னு தெரியல. சார் ஐசக் மெரிட் சிங்கர், இவர் தான் வந்துட்டு சூயிங் மெஷினை இன்வென்ட் பண்ண ஒரு சயின்டிஸ்ட். 1895 ரேஞ்ச்ல கண்டுபிடிச்சாரு. ஆக்சுவலி இவர் வந்துட்டு சூயிங்க வந்து ஒரு மெஷினா மாத்தணும் அப்படின்னு ட்ரை பண்றப்போ அவர் நிறைய யோசிச்சாரு. ஏன்னா அந்த காலத்துல இப்ப கூட ஹேண்ட் ஸ்டிச் பண்றோம்னா நீடிலோட பேக் எண்ட்ல தான் வந்து நம்ம த்ரெட் போடுவோம். சோ அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணி அவர் மெஷின்ல ஃபிட் பண்ணி பண்ணும்போது அவர்னால சக்சஸா கொண்டு வரவே முடியல. சோ அவர் ஒரு நாள் ரொம்ப யோசிச்சுட்டு அதை திங்க் பண்ணிட்டே, அந்த ஆன்சர் வேணும்னு திங்க் பண்ணிட்டே அவரே அறியாம தூங்கிட்டாரு. தூங்குற அந்த டைம்ல அவர் ட்ரீம்ல வந்துட்டு ஒரு பெரிய வார் நடக்கிற மாதிரியும், ஒரு போர் வீரர் வந்து அந்த ஜாவலின் ஈட்டிய வந்து ஓங்கி அவர் மேல எறிகிற மாதிரியும், அது வேகமா வரும்போது அவர் கண் முன்னாடி அந்த டிப்ல ஒரு ஹோல், அந்த ஹோல் வந்து அப்படி பளிச்சுன்னு ஒரு ஷைன் ஆகிற மாதிரியும் டக்குன்னு அவர் முழிச்சிருக்காரு. சோ தட் இஸ் தி திங். அப்பதான் அவருக்கு வந்து அவரோட ப்ராப்ளம்கான சொல்யூஷன் கிடைச்சது. அப்பதான் நீடலோட ஃப்ரண்ட் எண்ட்ல ஹோல் வச்சு அதுல த்ரெட் யூஸ் பண்ணி மெஷின்ல ஃபிட் பண்ணாதான் the sewing machine will be complete அப்படின்ற அந்த ஒரு சொல்யூஷன் அவருக்கு ட்ரீம்ல இருந்ததான் ஆக்சுவலா கிடைச்சிருக்கு. சோ இவர் மட்டும் இல்ல, மோஸ்ட்லி நிறைய சயின்டிஸ்ட், நிறைய இன்வென்டர்ஸ் எடுத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா அவங்களோட எல்லா சொல்யூஷனும் நம்ம ஹியூமன் மைண்ட்ஸுக்கு எட்டாத நிறைய சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் அவங்க ட்ரீம்ல இருந்துதான் கிடைச்சிருக்கு. இதுல நான் ரொம்ப அதிகமா போக விரும்பல. சார் நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட் ப்ளீஸ். So I'm going to give you a hint. Seek guidance from your subconscious mind. ஜோசப் மர்ஃபி அவரோட புக்ஸ் நிறைய இருக்கு. சோ இது மூலியமா உங்களுக்கு என்ன பாத் கரெக்டா இருக்கும் அப்படிங்கறது யூ வில் கெட் கைடன்ஸ். நான் இதை எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். ஐம் ஷுர் யூ வில் லவ் இட். பிகாஸ் கண்டிப்பா ட்ரை பண்ணுங்க. இது எல்லாமே சொல்லிட்டா உங்களுக்கு அந்த சுவாரஸ்யம் போயிடும். சோ இதை பத்தி சர்ச் பண்ணி நிறைய தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. அண்ட் நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட் ப்ளீஸ் சார். And at last, believe in yourself. Be confident. Opportunities are vast for agriculture graduates. Okay, va? Get skilled up that no one can replace you from your field. Skill development na ini future la romba adhigama irukka podu. You will get paid for your skills. And be a master in your field. Appdi irundinga ungaloda success yaaralayum thadukka mudiyadhu. Spend at least 10,000 hours in one field to be a master. அதை இந்த 10,000 hours பேஸ் பண்ணி தான் ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனல் டிகிரியும் 4 இயர்ஸ்க்கு வந்து கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்றாங்க. அந்த 4 இயர்ஸும் நம்ம ஹார்ட் அண்ட் சோல் போட்டு படிச்சிருந்தோம்னா கண்டிப்பா அந்த ஃபீல்ட்ல நம்ம மாஸ்டரா இருப்போம். ஸோ தட் இஸ் த திங். அண்ட் ப்ளீஸ் டோன்ட் ரஷ் டு கெட் செட்டில் சூன். எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் தி வேர்ல்ட். ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் ஆர் வாஸ்ட் அண்ட் ஆல் தி பெஸ்ட். தேங்க்யூ டியர் ஜூனியர்ஸ். தேங்க்யூ சார். தேங்க்யூ மேம்.
Karthika, I don't know, I just jumped in to speak immediately because I just loved your presentation. I think it was one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Sir, ma'am, thank you.
So,
thank you so much.
It's absolutely on the topic, and it just touches all the right points. And I just, I'm sad for the students who had gone in between. So I'll definitely, it's recorded and I'll ensure they all watch it again. Because I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you.
You put in a lot of efforts and that shows.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Students, kindly post your doubts in chat box.
Okay, I'm impatient. I have a question anyways. So Karthika, so now we're talking about PG in horticulture.
Yes.
Is it better for a UG horticulture student doing a PG horticulture, or is it equally easy for a BSc Agri student doing a PG in horticulture? Because you have the UG horticulture, this question comes to my mind.
Yes, sir. Actually, the thing is, I am an agriculture graduate, and when I was planning to take floriculture and landscape architecture, especially I had an interest in biophilic architecture and the floriculture export. So I thought together in the ரெண்டு கோர்ஸ்மே ஒன்னா அது TNAU இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்லும்போது மித்த யூனிவர்சிட்டிஸ்ல லேண்ட்ஸ்கேப்பிங்னு சொல்லி தான் டிகிரி கொடுக்குறாங்க. ஸோ TNAUல லேண்ட்ஸ்கேப் ஆர்கிடெக்சர்ன்ற அந்த வேர்ட் அந்த டிகிரியில் இன்க்ளூட் ஆகிறதுனால இட் மைட் ஹெல்ப் இன் பயோஃபிலிக் ஆர்கிடெக்சர். ஸோ அதனாலதான் நான் TNAU மெயினா சூஸ் பண்ணி எடுத்தேன் மேம். அண்ட் ஆல்சோ நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ண ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும்போது நிறைய பேர் கிராஸ் மேஜர் போறியா, இட் வில் பி வெரி டஃப், எப்படி நீ கிளியர் பண்ணுவ, நிறைய நெகட்டிவ் வந்துச்சு. பட் நிறைய ஸ்டாஃப், கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி சார், காளிதாஸ் சார், நிறைய பேர் வந்து சப்போர்ட் பண்ணாங்க. படிங்க, எழுதுங்க, யூ கேன், இதெல்லாம் படிங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி நிறைய ஹெல்ப் பண்ணாங்க. அண்ட் விஏஏ சீனியர்ஸ் வந்து அவங்க தான் எனக்கு பிஜி கிளியர் பண்றதுக்கு மெயின் ரீசனே மேம். அவங்களோட கைடன்ஸ் இருந்ததுனால தான் நான் பிஜி கிளியர் பண்ணேன். And to my surprise, I was the first in the entire PG entrance test. And I was called upon by Director of Extension Education from TNAU. Personally, என்னை கூப்பிட்டு ரொம்ப கங்க்ராச்சுலேட் பண்ணாரு. எல்லாத்த விட ரொம்ப நிறைய மார்க் டிஃபரன்ஸ்ல நான் ஃபர்ஸ்டா வந்தேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா இருந்தாரு. எனக்கு அது ரொம்பவே சந்தோஷமா இருந்தது. ஸோ அந்த டைம்ல தான் தோணுச்சு, அக்ரி ஹார்டி அதெல்லாம் முக்கியம் இல்ல, இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் இருந்து ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணா யூ கேன் கிராக் எனிதிங், யூ கேன் வின் எனிதிங். அதுதான் எனக்கு ஒரு விஷயம் தோணுச்சு மேம். அண்ட் நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி இப்போ நான் படிக்க ஆரம்பிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஃப்ளாரிகல்ச்சர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், சாரி ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் என் கூட படிக்கிறவங்களுக்கும் எனக்கும் நிறைய வித்தியாசம் இருந்துச்சு. நிறைய பிளான்ஸோட நேம்ஸ் வந்து என்னை விட அவங்க ஒரு படி மேல டக் டக் டக்குன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. என்னால அந்த பிளான்ஸ், ஆர்னமெண்டல் பிளான்ஸோட நேம்ஸ் வந்து அவங்க அளவுக்கு வேகமா சொல்ல தெரியல. பட் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் அண்ட் பிளான்ட் பிசியாலஜி கான்செப்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் அவங்கனால என் கூட கம்பீட் பண்ண முடியாது. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கேப் இருந்துச்சு. பட் என்னோட ஸ்ட்ராங் எது, எனக்கு எது நல்லா வரும் அப்படின்னு நான் தெரிஞ்சதுனால I didn't bother about it. அதனால
because I personally believe so much in horticulture, because our ecosystem, especially Manakadavu, we thrive on horticulture. And today the job opportunities in horticulture is mind-boggling.
Yes,
the new industries, everything is coming in horticulture. So I don't think we've put in enough efforts to give students the topic of horticulture, and I think you've been the best person to do it, and as an alumni and as a student who's still in touch with the academics, right? You're not away from academics.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
I think that was the best combination they found you. So I think we need to meet sometime. So please come to the campus sometime. We need to have a discussion.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
You've inspired me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll let the students, please, students, ask questions. I'm inspired. What are you doing?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Could you please explain the criteria to become an horticulture therapist? So there is no such criteria. Actually, நீங்க பாத்துக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் தெரபிஸ்ட் ஆகணும்னா மலர் மருத்துவம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. எட்வர்ட் பாக்கோட பாக் ஃப்ளவர் தெரபிஸ், அந்த கோர்சஸ் நிறைய பேர் பண்றாங்க, ஆன்லைன்லயே இருக்கு. அண்ட் ரேகி, நிறைய ஹீலிங்ஸ் வந்து இருக்கு. அந்த ஹீலிங் கோர்சஸ் நீங்க ஏதாவது ஒண்ணு முடிச்சுக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா அது உங்களுக்கு ஒரு நல்ல பேக்கப்பா இருக்கும். as well as உங்களுக்கு மெடிசினல் அண்ட் அரோமேட்டிக் கிராப்ஸ் பத்தி, எஸ்பெஷலி ஃப்ளவர் கிராப்ஸ் பத்தி ஒரு நல்ல நாலேஜ் இருந்துச்சுன்னா யூ கேன் பிகம் அன் ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் தெரபிஸ்ட். நீங்க சர்ச் பண்ணி பாருங்க, நிறைய பேர் இருப்பாங்க. ஜஸ்ட் கோ அண்ட் ஒர்க் வித் தெம். சேலரி வாங்க வேண்டாம், ஜஸ்ட் 1 or 2 months அவங்க கிட்ட ஒரு அன்பெய்ட் இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் மாதிரி போங்க, அவங்க என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க. யூ வில் கெட் அன் ஐடியா. அண்ட் இது பிஜி பண்ணிட்டு தான் இது பண்ணணுமான்னா ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் தெரப்பி வந்து அப்படி கிடையாது. யூ கேன் ஸ்ட்ரெயிட் அவே என்டர் இன்டு இட், பட் கெட் சம் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ். அதனால ஏதாவது அன்பெய்ட் இன்டர்ன்ஷிப் போயிட்டு நிறைய கத்துக்கோங்க. கத்துக்கிட்டு யூ கேன் ஸ்ட்ரெயிட் அவே ஸ்டார்ட். அப்புறம் போக போக யூ வில் கெட் இன்டு த சிங்க். Any other questions? And I personally, I am a Reiki healer. அதுவும் இந்த ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர் தான் எனக்கு அந்த இன்ட்ரெஸ்டும் கொடுத்துச்சு.
Karthika, my personal question.
Sir.
You're preparing for managed studies, that is, you're preparing for MBA up to 3rd year.
Yes.
But you have some turnover to your science studies in 4th year. So students also have some, they have some different choices. Pick the choices. So kindly share this experience to our students, how to pick the right choices and how to become a passion in the choices.
Yes, sir. I'm the best example. First 3 years, கண்டிப்பா மேனேஜ் போகணும், MBA இப்படியே தான் பேசிக்கிட்டு இருந்தேன். And I was working for it. And fortunately, பட் கடைசி டைம்ல எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் குறைஞ்சிருச்சு. பிகாஸ் இது எல்லாத்துக்கும் காரணம் வந்து கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி சார் தான் நான் சொல்லுவேன். ஏன்னா அவர் தான் என்ன ஹொசூருக்கு வந்து விசிட் கூட்டிட்டு போனாரு எங்க பேட்ச. ஸோ அந்த ஒரு விசிட் தான் வந்து என் லைஃப வந்து நான் பார்த்த விதம் வந்து சேஞ்ச் பண்ணுச்சு. பிகாஸ் ஏதோ ஒரு ஃபீல்ட்ல நம்ம மாஸ்டரா இருக்கணும் கண்டிப்பா. அதுக்கப்புறம் கூட நம்ம MBA பண்ணிக்கலாம் அப்படின்ற அந்த ஒரு தாட் வந்து எனக்கு இருந்துச்சு. அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் திங், நான் இந்த பிரசன்டேஷன்லயே சொல்லியிருப்பேன், கெட்டிங் கைடன்ஸ் ஃப்ரம் அ சப்கான்ஷியஸ் மைண்ட். ஏதோ ஒண்ணு எனக்கு இது வேண்டாம். அட்லாஸ்ட் எனக்கு ஆல்மோஸ்ட் நான் கேட் வந்து 70% கிட்ட வாங்கி கிளியர் பண்ணேன். அண்ட் ஐ வாஸ் எலிஜிபிள் டு ஜாயின் அண்ட் மேனேஜ். பட் எனக்கு வேண்டாம், அது வேண்டாம் அப்படின்னு தோணிருச்சு. இது எல்லாமே ஐவ் காட் சம் கைடன்ஸ். நான் அதனாலதான் அதையும் வந்து இதுல இன்க்ளூட் பண்ணியிருந்தேன் சார். ஸோ லிசன் டு யுவர் ஹார்ட். அதுதாங்க சார்.
Thank you, Karthika.
Thank you, sir.
So any more doubts, students? So this is a very big interaction. Karthika, can you give the mail ID in chat box?
Sure, sir. Sure.
Students, kindly note the mail ID of Ms. Karthika.
Karthika, another question, hydroponics or aeroponics or whatever you want to call it, where do you have the best know-how for college for us, for the students study purpose that we need to set up?
Ma'am, particularly hydroponics.
Yeah.
Hydroponics.
One second, Karthika. Suresh Kumar, first BSc, please mute yourself. Yeah, please continue, Karthika.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, hydroponics, there are some special institutes. They are mainly providing training in hydroponics, ma'am. I'll just surf and I'll give you the information. I'll pass it on through Kalidas sir, ma'am.
Because I need a lot of new technology, especially in horticulture, to be brought in and as technology demonstrators in VIA, you know. So
yes, ma'am.
Right now we are lagging behind academically also, I would say, but I thought at least we'll bring in the technology demonstrators so that tomorrow when the curriculum comes in, we have the expertise to teach. So we need hydroponics, we need distillation, we need drone technology coming in. Everything has to come in fast.
Yes,
because the world has gone beyond academics now, so we need to catch up.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you're right.
So everything and anything you can think on these lines, and of course, terrace gardening, home gardening, the concepts, anything you can get information or expertise on, please share it with Kalidas.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, I'll do, ma'am. And one request from my side, ma'am.
Sure.
Actually, agriculture அது ரொம்பவே நல்ல சப்ஜெக்ட் மேம். பட் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து அது புரியாம போறது எதனாலன்னா, பேசிக்ஸ்ல அவங்களுக்கு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் இல்லை, ப்ராப்பர் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங். எனக்கு வந்துட்டு பெஸ்ட் அவுட் கோயிங் ஸ்டூடெண்ட் அவார்ட் வந்து நம்ம இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன்ல இருந்து கொடுத்தாங்க. அப்போ வந்து சார் சொன்னது என்னன்னா, பேசிக்ஸ்ல ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருங்க, பேசிக்ஸ்ல ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருங்க. அவர் அந்த அத்தனை ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கும் அவர் சொன்னது அந்த ஒரு விஷயம் தான். அந்த பேசிக்ஸ் வந்து இட் இஸ் ஆக்சுவலி வெரி ஈஸி மேம். கிராப் பிசியாலஜி, அந்த பிளான்ஸ் பத்தி உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருச்சுன்னா, சாயில் பத்தி தெரிஞ்சிருச்சுன்னா, யூ கேன் மேட்ச், மிக்ஸ் மேட்ச் பண்ணி யூ கேன் கிரியேட் மேஜிக்.
அது கிராப் பிசியாலஜி அடுத்த செமஸ்டர் வருதுன்னு இந்த செமஸ்டர்ல இருந்து எல்லாத்துக்கும் நைட் மேட்ச் ஆரம்பிக்குது.
எஸ் மேம். ஆக்சுவலி மேம் எனக்கு ஒரு
பயம் வருது, அடுத்த செமஸ்டர் வர போகுதுன்னா ரிசல்ட்ஸ் என்ன ஆக போகுதுன்னு. So how do we now break this mental block? Chandrasekhar, doctor, I'm sorry, unga subject.
I think. Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please continue.
Okay. Ma'am, a good teacher can break that ice. Adhaan na solla varen.
Good teacher, yes, because I believe all our teachers are good. The
yes,
problem is peers or what do you call information. Seniors சொல்றது, peers சொல்றது, எப்போதுமே உனக்கு ஃபெயிலியர்ஸ் இந்த சப்ஜெக்ட்ல அதிகம், சாயில் வாட்டர் கன்சர்வேஷன் அதிகம், அந்த மாதிரி அந்த ஒரு ஃபியர் ஃபேக்டர். நீ கிளாஸுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் செஷனுக்கு போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி அந்த பயம் வந்துருது.
எஸ் மேம், எஸ்.
So I need to break that mindset.
மேம், எனக்கு ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி தந்தீங்கன்னா, எஸ் மேம், எனக்கு ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி தந்தீங்கன்னா, ஆன் த ஹோல் கிராப் பிசியாலஜினா என்ன, பிளான்ட்ஸ்குள்ள என்ன நடக்குது, பிளான்ட்டுக்கு சாயிலுக்கு என்ன கனெக்ஷன், ஆக்சுவலா அங்க என்ன பேசிக் அப்படிங்கறத வந்துட்டு ஒரு செமினாரோ இல்ல ஒரு செஷன் மாதிரி எனக்கு நீங்க தந்தீங்கன்னா நான் கண்டிப்பா
உங்களுக்கு எப்ப டைம் ஃப்ரீன்னு சொல்லி we will convene it. அவ்வளவுதான்.
ஷூர் மேம், ஷூர் மேம். ஏன்னா எனக்கு டீச்சிங் ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். அது வந்து சரி இவ்வளவு சிம்பிளான விஷயம் ஏன் எல்லாரும் பயப்படுறாங்க அப்படின்ற தாட் உங்களை மாதிரியே எனக்கும் இருந்திருக்கு. மெயின்லி நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி சீனியர்ஸோட இன்ஃபுளுன்ஸ் தான். ஐயோ கிராப் பிசியாலஜியா அந்த கோர்ஸ் எல்லாம் வந்து அப்படி இப்படி சொல்லியே நிறைய பேர் மூட் ஸ்பாயில் ஆயிடுது. பட் எனக்கு விஏஏல கிடைச்ச அந்த பேஸ் தான் இங்க நான் ஹார்டிகல்ச்சர்ல நான் ஸ்ட்ராங்கா நிக்கிறதுக்கு காரணம் மேம். ஸோ ஐ ஹாவ் டு தேங்க் மை டீச்சர். ஸோ கிராப் பிசியாலஜி சார் வந்து எனக்கு எடுத்ததுதான் வந்துட்டு நான் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கிட்ட விதம் எல்லாமே எனக்கு ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லா இருந்துச்சு. So students வந்து
the first year, that is the fundamentals, principles, and the first and second year is very crucial, yeah.
Yes, yes. First and second yearல கான்செப்ட்ஸ் புரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா தேர்ட் அண்ட் ஃபைனல் இயர்ல நீங்க படிக்கவே வேண்டாம். தட் இஸ் அக்ரிகல்ச்சர். அந்த மாதிரிதான் மோஸ்ட்லி இருக்கும் மேம். நம்மளே எழுதலாம், நம்மளே ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணலாம்.
அதை புரிஞ்சாங்கன்னா பரவாயில்ல. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இயர்லயும் செகண்ட் இயர்லயும் வேற மைண்ட் டைவர்ட் ஆகாம ஃபோக்கஸ்டா படிப்பு பிளஸ் அஃப்கோர்ஸ் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஷிப்ஸ் அண்ட் இன்டர்பர்சனல் ஸ்கில்ஸ் டெவலப் ஆகணும், மற்றதெல்லாம் பண்ணணும். பட் ஃபோக்கஸ் ஆன் யுவர் ப்ரையாரிட்டிஸ் இல்லையா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அண்ட் செகண்ட் இயர்.
அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் திங், நான் ஸ்டூடெண்டா நான் என்ன ஒரு டிஃபிகல்ட்டி ஃபேஸ் பண்ணேன்னா நிறைய ரைட்டிங் ஒர்க்ஸ் மேம், ரெக்கார்டு ரைட்டிங், அதுலயே வந்து பாதி நேரம் இருந்து முக்காவாசி நேரம் அதுலயே வந்து நம்ம ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ண வேண்டியதா இருக்கும். அண்ட் அதுவே ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் ஆகிட்டு அந்த எழுதுறதும் நம்ம பொறுமையா கவனிச்சு எழுதணும்னா அது மனசுல பதியும். பாட்டு கேட்டு எழுதுறது, ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் கூட பேசிட்டு எழுதுறது, அந்த ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ல என்ன பண்ணுன்னு தெரியாம இதெல்லாம் தான் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தோம் ஆக்சுவலா சொல்ல போனா. சோ அந்த எழுதுறது அது எந்த விஷயத்துல அது யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும்னு எனக்கு இப்போ வரைக்குமே தெரியல மேம். ஆக்சுவலி
you give me your
குறைஞ்சதுன்னா
which batch were you?
Ma'am, 2015 to 19 Vrikshas.
Okay, so 15 syllabus, இப்போ 17 syllabus ஓடிட்டு இருக்குது, இப்போ 21 syllabus வரப்போகுது. கண்டிப்பா inputs we will be giving. So you give me your inputs of what BSc Agri, what you faced as a 2015 syllabus student.
Sure.
Unoda views. Okay, just mail it to me, correspondent@pa.ac.in.
Okay, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah.
Help me, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'm hogging the time. I'm just going to go silent now.
Okay, ma'am. That's okay, ma'am. Thank you. And greetings, ma'am. I'm interested in terrace gardening. How can I relate my interest in higher studies? Is there any special scope for terrace gardening? Terrace gardening, Mr. Praveen Joshi. Yes, you can relate your interest in higher studies. You can opt for PG in either floriculture or vegetable science. If you are mainly focusing on the edible gardening, you can choose vegetable science. And if you're focusing on ornamentals too, and especially the designing for recreation purpose, kindly please choose PG in floriculture and landscaping. That will be of great help. And I'm really impressed for your presentation. Thank you for the valid information. Thank you means a lot. And this is my first presentation actually, and I'm honored to do it for my juniors. Hope this session would drive me into horticulture. Thank you so much. And இன்னொன்னு நான் சொல்லிக்க விரும்புறேன், all these juniors, please, நம்ம சில செஷன்ஸ் கேட்கும்போது நமக்கு அந்த ஆஹா அப்படின்ற மாதிரி ஒரு மொமெண்ட் வரும். அதுக்கப்புறம் போகும்போது அப்படியே அது நாரோட நாய் அது காணாமே போயிடும். சோ உண்மையாலுமே உங்க பேஷன் எதுன்னு கண்டுபிடிங்க. என்னோட பேஷன் இதுல இருக்கு அப்படின்றத நான் கண்டுபிடிச்சேன். சோ ரொம்ப எல்லாத்தையும் அதிகமா இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் ஆக விடாம, உங்க மனசை வந்து அதிகமா இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ் ஆக விடாம நீங்க திங்க் பண்ணுங்க எது உங்களுக்கு செட் ஆகும் அப்படின்னு. கண்டிப்பா யூ வில் கெட் த ரைட் பாத். And if you are coming into horticulture, I'm happy to welcome you. Any other questions, please? And also, நான் இப்பதான் PG முடிச்சிருக்கேன். I have many ideas. கண்டிப்பா அதெல்லாம் செஞ்சுட்டு திரும்ப உங்களை இன்னொரு வாட்டி மீட் பண்ணுவேன் நான் நம்புறேன். வேற எதுவும் டவுட்ஸ் இருக்குங்களா? Oh, thank you Sandhya, thank you so much. அது எல்லாருக்குமே கண்டிப்பா தெரிஞ்சுக்க வேண்டிய விஷயம்.
The director sir, either interact.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay. So shall we continue the session, sir?
Yes.
Okay. So before conclude the session, I want to convey one thing. 3 years back, that passed out CAE Dr. Surinath Sundara sir visited to our campus, and in the staff meeting, he insisted that VA students have very good theoretical knowledge, but there is a lack of practical knowledge. Before 3 years, I think Surinath Sundara sir insisted, but in this Karthika speech and other learning exposure, that myth is breaked. Karthika, are you
Thank
agree?
you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Ravi, since you said about Dr. Surinath Sundram, I think here we have to put on record his wonderful service, what he's done as the controller of examination and as a horticulturist in special. I've had innumerable conversations over the phone with him. He's such a tough person, but a straight person, a person of very high integrity and principles. And he never backed down from whatever was right for the university. And I don't know, God took him too early. And I want to put on record my deep, sincere condolences to his family and to his colleagues and to our students. I wish you all had met him and spoken to him as a person, as a horticulturist. His passion was something to be witnessed, I say. So thank you, Ravi, for reminding me of that. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We have lost such a gem.
So I request Dr. V. Bhubalan, Assistant Professor Horticulture, to propose vote of thanks for this session. Bhubalan, please.
Thank you, Ms. Karthika, for sharing the valuable information regarding higher education in horticulture. I hope students got record information on this. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. It's my honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Karthika. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear juniors. If you have any questions, kindly please mail me. I'm happy to guide you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.